Yeah.
We're here. We are live. Hello. It's me and my fellow buddy Deontay.
Back again.
We're alive. We were gone for about 3 months. We were on a hiatus. We disappeared.
It's
The
like,
world went to hell, and so did we. And
literally.
now we are back from the depths of it to talk
Yeah.
about two comic book films. Yes, comic book films, as for some reason there's always been a reputation that I don't like comic book films. People in the chat always give me guff about it, but you know what? Here we are. Guess what we're talking about? We're talking about an MCU film and a Superman film. So, I mean, we're on there. Fantastic Four.
Oh, now I feel underdressed.
Classic shirt. I hope y'all like my new background. Batman Begins teaser poster, Halloween classic poster, favorite horror film. Got a little bit of both up in here.
Oh, yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's behind my head, but yeah, got some Batman pops below me. You can't see that, but just thought that should be known. So yeah, I mean, obviously this is going to start off a little rusty because it's been a while, but I want to first start this off with
that
how's everyone?
intro.
Oh my gosh, yes, I forgot about the see, I'm rusty. Beautiful intro. Hit that thing. Do it, lady.
Do it, lady.
As always,
So
shout
classy.
out Will from the SNN Network. Shout out him for that beautiful, beautiful intro. It makes me feel all tingly and warm inside. It makes me feel like there is hope in the world, and I hope it makes you feel that way too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
guess what? I'm going to start it off. Daddy's here, and Daddy's going to kiss the boo-boo. That's my famous quote. Jacob's Film Perspective is back in action. Yeah, we're going to talk about, of course, I already said Superman, Fantastic Four, Superman first, since it came out first, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I want to start off by saying I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a crazy summer, I feel like, for especially me. I know me, and I'm not going to speak for Deontay, but I know he's been going through it a little bit too. And
yeah.
But we're back. We're back to bring you good content on superhero films because you know what? The world needs some optimism. And Superman was a little dose of optimism, and Fantastic Four in its own right as well. We'll get to that. But yeah, just to, I guess, to update everyone on what's been going on. I still have been posting on Instagram and TikTok. I still have quite a few videos up since our last podcast. Anyway, I have a Hurry Up Tomorrow video that I really enjoyed that my friend Mac, shout out Mac, he shot with his Blackmagic camera.
Nice.
Outside the Alamo Draft House in St. Louis. Met up with him in St. Louis in May, and we got to see the new Weekend film, Hurry Up Tomorrow. And yeah, great review for that on TikTok and Instagram. I've posted some written reviews on my Jacob's Film Perspectives Instagram page and Facebook page. You can go read those there. Material lists, the rehearsal, the new Predator film, quite a bit there, and a few out of theater reactions. Fantastic Four and Superman being two of them, and then Eddington also. Saw Eddington, the new Ari Aster. That's, I know because I'm A24 horror. So you know I had to talk about that in some capacity.
Yeah, to get that plug in. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so yeah, I've been doing that. So like, yeah, when these podcasts, when we go away, because me and Deontay, we got busy lives, we got stuff going on. We're grown men, all right. We got busy things going on. We got stuff to do. We got things to do. But we come back when we're needed. We're like Batman. When the call is out there, we come. But yeah, but if you want to keep up more on Jacob's Film Perspectives and SNN, just follow us on everything: Facebook, Instagram. Look up SNN. Saturday Night Nerds. Y'all still posting stuff. Join the group. Everybody's always in the group. Deontay's posting his like first thoughts, reviews in the group. Like, there's a lot of good stuff. I don't ever mention the group. I should mention that. Join the Saturday Night Nerds group because people in there always sharing stuff, nerdy content, film content. It doesn't matter. People are always in there keeping it lively, keeping the discussion going. So if you're a like-minded person, check that out for sure. And just check out my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for what I've been watching, because I will write a review or I will post out of theater reaction if it's something I feel important or something I feel like I want to talk about or that needs to be talked about that people aren't talking about. So that's still going. And yeah, this podcast, hopefully there'll be a return soon. You know, we're kind of, I won't say we're retired, but we're kind of semi out of the game. But yeah, we may, there may be a little resurgence here. Who knows? But yeah, we're here today. Superman, Fantastic Four, of course. Superman first, of course. The optimism, the hope of it all.
Let me run that picture back too.
Look
at it. Look at him. David Cord Sweat.
Look at him. Beautiful man. Yeah. So here we go. Superman. So I guess obviously, I mean, I hate this mirrored shit. Obviously, Batman's right there. I'll start off and say, never been a big Superman guy. Never have. Even as a kid, never was drawn to Superman in any way. Never read the comics. Never watched the Christopher Reeve movies until recently. Like when I was in high school, I want to say is when I first watched them in high school. Well, not recently. High school was a decade ago. Oh my gosh, I'm old. But I didn't watch them growing up as a kid. I only watched them in high school. And then never seen the Brandon Routh one. Still have never seen that one. Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor kind of makes me want to go, you know. So I don't know if I'll get to it. Maybe I will. I have a friend that loves that movie, though, that tells me I should check it out. That's actually pretty good. So maybe I'll check it out. But I have seen Superman 1, 2, and 3, the first 3 Christopher Reeve films. I haven't watched 4 because I heard it's horrible and one of the worst movies ever made, and that the production company messed with it and all that. So I haven't watched that one. So I've seen every Superman film except Superman 4, Quest for Peace, and Superman Returns. I've seen Man of Steel, of course, all the Zack Snyder stuff, both Justice Leagues, the Whedon cut, obviously, and the Snyder cut. So, yeah, even though I'm not the biggest Superman fan, I've seen all the Superman stuff. I watched a little bit of the animated series growing up as a kid. I was more of a Spider-Man animated series, though, was what I watched a lot as a kid. Even the Batman animated series I kind of missed. That was kind of early 90s. I was born late 90s. So it was like a little, kind of before my time, just a little late on that one. But, yeah. What I really have, my most distinct memory of Superman for me is the Justice League show. The Justice League animated series. I watched that a ton growing up. Not Justice League Unlimited. I know a lot of people love that one. I kind of grew out of it by when Unlimited came out. I watched like the OG Justice League series. It was like early 2000s. And that's where I know my Superman from. I had like the movie on VHS and like Superman's, I forgot who he's battling, but like that's where I know Superman mainly from. And then, yeah, I've just never been a Superman. Always Batman, Spider-Man, even Fantastic Four, which we'll get to that. I've just never gravitated towards Superman. I've always gravitated towards the more like dark, messed up characters, the more, struggling. I mean, Superman struggles, obviously, but less optimistic, more dealing with hardships, Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne, obviously, stuff like that. Daredevil, even Matt Murdock. So, yeah, I'm not a huge Superman fan. So going into this, I will say I was excited for. I've been excited for it for 2 years, ever since it was announced. But I was more excited for Fantastic Four, if I'm being honest. Which I know a lot of people wouldn't say that, but me, I have. And then, yeah, like I watched Man of Steel. My thoughts on Man of Steel, because that's going to come up, because I feel like some Snyder fans may come in here or see this.
Yeah, here they come.
And I'll just say, Man of Steel. Every time I watch it, I appreciate it more. Henry Cavill, I think, is still my favorite Superman. Even after watching this film, Henry Cavill is still my guy. I think this is a better film than Man of Steel. I'll say that off the bat. I think this is a better Superman movie than Man of Steel. I think it's a better film, obviously. Man of Steel, it just has some really dumb moments, and I can never get over the Kevin Costner putting his hand up when the tornado's coming and he gets blown away, and that's supposed to be dramatic. It's like, you're Superman. You could have saved your dad. And people say, well, his dad didn't want him to show himself to the world, but he does anyway. So that was a forced emotion. People defend that moment. I've seen people online defend that moment to their death, and I'm just like, that is such a horribly written moment. How can you defend that? And then the battle when he's destroying, I know it's two gods destroying, but I mean, God. It goes on for like 35 minutes, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like Superman would do a little better than that, but
Superman sucks at fighting. He sucks so bad.
I love I don't love it. I really like Man of Steel. I appreciated it more every time I watch it. But when I think about Superman, I think about the Justice League animated series. For me, that's where my touch, and this was the most like it for me on screen, where I was like, okay, that's Superman. Like, I could see that's, and it made
his ass whooped in that show too.
Yeah. And it made me it showed me that, like, that's what I'm kind of warming up more to Superman now, actually, because of this movie. I will say I like him a little more because of this film. So that's an accomplishment right off the bat. It made me, someone who's never really been into Superman, like Superman quite a bit more.
Great work, James.
That's my experience before we get into it with Superman. What's yours, Deontay? What you got?
Man, my memory is pretty much like the basic. Man, I've been like in between a yawn and a burp at the exact same time, and a hiccup, and I don't know which one it's going to be, but that shit is trying to kill me. So I'm like, y'all forgive me if I like get like in the middle of the review and shit. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's like, it needs to stop. Let me go so I can do this review. So my experience with Superman's basic bitch shit. So the Brandon Roof movie, seen that too. I don't remember. It wasn't really that much of a memorable experience, but Smallville, all the whole shebang bang. What is the name of his Lex Luthor? That is, damn. Like, I know it. I can regurgitate his name immediately. Like, something Rosenbaum.
Oh, Michael Rosenbaum.
Michael Rosenbaum. Yeah, he was one of my favorite Lex Luthors of all time. Right up the gate, like, compare maybe him, the animated Lex Luthor, and maybe one more. There's been like 3 or 4 really good ones in live action, and definitely one untouchable one in the animated series. But Nicholas Hoult plays him in the James Gunn movie that came out this year. Not a bad performance. I just like in comparison to the other Lex Luthors I've been exposed to. Like he's not the number one ranked Lex Luthor in live action by any means whatsoever. So if someone, like, people will glaze the fuck out of Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, but don't let it fool you. He is not the best.
I have to interject here. I'm about to be glazing Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, but we'll get into
I mean, like, so there's a complimenting him on his work. as Lex Luthor, and then the script itself that James Gunn wrote that made him look like a completely he's basically a rich Joker. Like why Lex Luthor is so much more than that, and that's a hit on James Gunn and not Nicholas Hoult. I would save that one for later, but just so y'all have like a little background of where I'm coming from, like this movie is great, but there's a lot of things that happened in this movie that kept it from not being the total GOAT of all Superman movies. Like I'm not a Snyder fan first by any reasons, and I have the exact same complaints about Man of Steel as Jacob has, but I don't think James Gunn beat Man of Steel. Christopher Nolan wrote the script, so that is probably some of the mistakes that people don't know was his. Maybe that's what I'm getting at. Like he screwed up, but it's Christopher Nolan. He's allowed to do that. So people had complaints about the Batman trilogy he had, and this is the best Batman trilogy. And Christopher Nolan is not even like associated that heavily with DC Studios and Marvel Studios and shit like that. He just did a Batman trilogy and it was goated. So that's why I show a little mercy to Man of Steel. He tried to put on like a little bit of the Dark Knight trilogy tone on Superman. Maybe not the brightest idea, but it was a damn good movie. A damn good movie. My favorite Pa and Ma Kent. My favorite Lois Lane, unfortunately, for the James Gunn movie. And my favorite Superman was Henry Cavill. It's kind of like, how does anyone put David Cornsweet ahead of him? I don't know. But to each their own. Like
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like, did you never watch the Christopher Reeve growing up?
Yeah,
like,
saw the Christopher Reeves.
So you have seen them?
Mm-hmm. It's like I think he had a trilogy, didn't he, or wasn't it just two?
Yeah, there's 4 of them. He made 4 of them.
So I faintly remember, but I grew up with this being on like cable television, so like I'm sitting in the living room and mom has it on a random channel. It's probably playing on TV, and that's how I saw it.
Yeah,
so this is like VHS days, DVD days.
I mean, it is the original comic book movie, really. I mean, it started it all. So I give it props for that. And I will say, I guess starting off, I will say that's probably still, for me, what I would say is the best Superman film ever made is probably still the original Christopher Reeve one from 1978, I would probably say. Just because what it did for cinema, it got the character right way more than Zack Snyder's did. And Christopher Reeve just iconic in his playing Superman. But yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I never watched Smallville. I missed that. That kind of came out. I was probably like in kindergarten when that was coming out, so like I was kind of a little too young for Smallville. So I kind of missed the Smallville boat. I've never seen anything Smallville, so I can't speak on that Lex Luthor. But everybody I know praises that as the best Lex Luthor. My Lex Luthor was the black Lex Luthor from the Justice League show.
Yeah, the GOAT.
That's the one I know. That's the big. He's kind of big and bulky. He kind of looks like. It's kind of like Kingpin in a way, the way they animate it, because he's big and bulky. But like at the same time, he's like I don't know. He just had something about him. He had an aura about him, from what I remember. That's the Lex
Luthor. A handsome, bald black man with lots of money, and boy they even showed the arc in the animated series where he became president in like a different world, and he was pretty much an absolute menace towards the Justice League, and even had an evil Superman at his side. That Lex Luthor will forever be legend for me. So
yeah,
he's got to come first before the live action Lexus.
Gene Hackman, obviously one of the greatest actors of all time, played the OG Lex Luthor. But he is he is just like, that's one of his weaker roles. He's just kind of so forgettable in those movies. He's just kind of a real estate guy. So like,
Who did you say it was?
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of just a real estate guy. He doesn't really, he's not really the very comic accurate Lex Luthor, from what I understand. So basically, you've never been a big Superman fan either.
Like I would. So it took me a bit. I don't remember what exactly made me a Batman fan, but Batman came first and then Superman. And honestly, I was on Superman as a kid for like maybe 1 year, and then that was it because I kept watching him get his ass beat. So I was like, no, that's my least favorite DC hero now. So it's like, I got discouraged so badly by how Superman was portrayed in just a lot of content up until that point, and I just gave up. And I said, all right, I'm just Team Batman and Flash from here on out. And Flash got his ass whooped a lot too, at least in the animated series he did. So I don't know what the hell that was all about, but Cartoon Network, y'all were brutal for doing that to me as a kid. I'll never forgive you. But I guess my 1 year of being a Superman fan, well, actually, I can count the Snyderverse too, so maybe like a two or 3 years, because Henry Cavill got casted, the ultimate casting in all of live action history, and it's so hard for me to find like another actor that'll surpass him, and that's the whole reason why I'm back on the Superman fandom now, because like a lot of his content post Man of Steel has been pretty decent. Krypton. So there's a TV show that came out on Sci-Fi not that long ago. It hasn't been like maybe 10 years ago. It's basically about Superman's grandpa, Jor-El's dad, and in his younger years before Krypton basically became on a path to like destruction, which led to Superman coming to Earth. So that was pretty interesting. Best live action Brainiac I've ever seen. I was like, God damn, like I'm really getting drawn into Superman. And then James Gunn came and sealed the deal with this one for 2025. I'm like, shit, well, now I just have to just lock in and just stay on top of the lore, because he just gave us the thumbs up for a script that he's working on for the sequel. So there's going to be a trilogy, and I think we all deserve it.
Yeah, and I think it can. This is what I said to a friend about David Cornsweet as Superman. Give him one more movie, and he might be my favorite Superman. For me personally, he's very close to Henry Cavill right now. I think comic-wise, he wipes Henry Cavill when it comes to like what Superman's supposed to be in the comics and stuff. Which that's not Henry Cavill's fault at all. That's the material he was given, written by Zack Snyderverse and all that. I mean, he had to play that version. He kind of got wasted, sadly. They wasted Henry Cavill as Superman. One of the worst wastes you could ever do is have him as Superman and then waste him like that. But, you know, that's another problem I have with the whole Snyder stuff. But, you know,
yeah,
I'm not a Snyder hater at all, but I'm not a Snyder lover. I'm just kind of in the middle. I'm when it comes to those arguments, I just stay in the middle. I'm just like, I don't care either way. Like, yeah, he made some good stuff, made some bad stuff. I really did not care for his take on, this is kind of a sidebar, but I guess to shine the whole picture of my thing on the Snyderverse, because I feel like we're going to get people being like, what about the Snyder? Like, I just see the Snyder cult coming, because he does have a cult. It is pretty real. I've seen it online. There's some people that will go hard for Zack Snyder's Superman, especially since this movie has come out. There's been a lot of hate towards James Gunn and this movie and David Cornsweet and all of that, and because of the Snyder stuff. But you can't blame them for how the Snyder stuff turned out. You got to blame Warner Brothers for that and how they treated them. That was all Warner Brothers. It's not James Gunn. But Zack Snyder, like I said, he didn't get the character of Superman right from what I know him to be, and from what everybody tells me that loves him in the comics know him to be. And also, he didn't get Batman right either. He makes Batman a straight up murderer for no reason. And people will say, "Oh, the Dark Knight Returns, Batman." Yeah, but if you watch the Dark Knight Returns and you read the comics, he's still not that much of a murderer as he is in Batman v Superman. So I've always had a problem with Zack Snyder how he portrayed Batman. So
the only character they got right was Wonder Woman.
Yeah, really, yeah. I love like Ben Affleck's look as Batman. He's badass, of course, and I love like his mech suit and like all that stuff. The visuals and everything is so cool, but like the material, nah. But so I can see people not liking Zack Snyder and people really embracing this, because this does feel closer to Christopher Reeve Superman, that hopefulness, the optimism, and it's kind of started a wave of. I started a trend. I've noticed a trend on social media lately about how this movie is kind of pushed radical optimism, push that theory and stuff more into the conscience of the world. Really, like more people are like, you know what, I'm gonna love everybody and I'm gonna be really nice, and like, you know what, Superman taught me it's it's a superpower to be nice, and I'm glad that the movie's making a positive impact in that way. Like, I'm pretty sure there'll definitely be little kids that watch this, and this will be like their Superman, where they're like, when they grow up, they'll have fond memories of that. So I feel like they do a lot right with this movie. I really do. Of course, I have my issues. And like I said, Devin Corn-Sweat, he's not my favorite. There are a few scenes where I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, just some of his acting when he's like yelling, especially, and there's like a speech he gives towards Lex Luthor at the end that everybody's loving, but for me, it's just the acting wasn't there, and for that, so like I need a sequel, and I think he'll be my favorite Superman, but I need that sequel. Right now, it's Henry Cavill still, even though I think this is a better movie than Man of Steel. I like Henry Cavill more right now for Superman.
Yeah,
but I will
about that aura.
Yes, oh man, Henry Cavill is just one of the most. I mean, perfect castings ever. I can't believe Warner Brothers wasted it, but just perfect casting. But yeah, as far as like what I do love about this movie, I think this is the best live action Lois Lane we've ever gotten. I love Rachel Brosnahan in the role. She's actually a reporter. No offense to Amy Adams' portrayal, but she's just there to look pretty and be Superman's girlfriend. Like, she does nothing in those movies. Any of the movies, she does nothing really at all. Mm-hmm. And the Lois Lane in this original Superman, Margot Kidder's a great actress. She was in Black Christmas, a great slasher. She's a classic actress. Rest in peace to her. But she always was kind of written a little annoying. And there was another show like The Adventures of Superman and Lois Clark. I used to watch at my grandma's house, like in the 90s. Some TV actor or something played her. I forgot the name of the actress, but I didn't remember her either. So yeah, from my Lois Lane perspective, this is by far the best Lois Lane on screen. And from what I hear from people that love the comics, she's the most accurate because she has agency and she's doing things. She's an actual character. So shout out to James Gunn for her and best Lois Lane. And then people are gonna hate on me for this. I've seen a lot of hate, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell y'all that you are wrong. Best Mom Paul Kent I've seen on screen. I think this is the best Mom Paul Kent. I really do. I know people hate on him. Oh, they're rednecks. Oh, they're too dumbed down.
They're beyond that.
I disagree completely with those arguments. If you read on the backstory of how he made them,
he was flirting with Missouri.
He literally, if people don't know, James Gunn grew up in St. Louis, in the St. Louis area. He grew up in rural Missouri, though, but he's from the St. Louis area. But obviously, if you're not from Missouri, it's not just St. Louis the city. There's a lot of different around St. Louis. Different I guess I don't know what you'd call it, subdivisions. I guess I don't know, but I'm not a governor. I don't know. But anyway, he grew up in rural Missouri. So he based Kansas and like the trailers and the houses and like when they go back to Kansas and like Ma and Paul Kent, he based them completely off of people he grew up around in rural Missouri and the small little trailers in their house and how they act and stuff. And for me, I love that. As somebody from rural Missouri, been here all my life, grew up, born and raised rural Missourian, I loved it. I mean, I loved it. Like Ma and Paul Kent feel like real people in this movie. They don't feel like movie actors. They feel like real, actual people. My problem with The Man of Steel is Kevin Costner and Diane Lane. They just look like movie actors. It's just Kevin Costner as Paul Kent. I mean, Kevin Costner is great. I love him. Great actor. But, like, I think this is the best Ma and Paul Kent if you're going to go comic accurate because they really are just down-to-earth farmers. And, like, that's what they are in the comics from in the beginning anyway. So I think that they should – because I've noticed they even, like, started hating on, like, the lady that plays Ma Kent, like, giving her, like, hate on, like, Twitter and stuff. And I'm just like, calm down. No lady. Like, I don't get the hate whatsoever. I know people hate that take, but I think it's the best Ma and Paul Kent by far for me. They felt like actual old people that found a baby and raised him in rural Kansas. I mean, it feels like it. I love it. I don't think they sound I mean, yeah, they have rednecks, but if you're listen to how I speak. I kind of talk the same way. So if you're gonna call them a redneck, you kind of got to call me a redneck too, because like
you're way more intelligent than them. So as far as having like that somewhat Missouri twang accent, like we see people like that all the time. Like especially like on me and Jacob's neck of the woods. Like we even have a friend that podcasts, Blake Hickman. He has a pure Missouri twang. And that is rural Missouri at its finest. I don't know what the hell Ma and Pa was. Maybe it was just Pa, but it's like, why is he that slow though? It was just like I couldn't wrap my head around it. It was the one thing that in the movie that wasn't the actor's fault by any means. I think it was the writing that pulled me straight out of escapism for a couple minutes. I could have been in escapism the entire movie, but as soon as Ma and Pa started talking, I was like, what in the flying fuck?
I guess I've seen that a lot. I guess I'm in the minority. I loved it. I think it's my favorite Ma and Pa Kent on screen. They made me feel like I felt like they were people I've grown up around. Like they feel like next door neighbors to me, and I feel like that's how they were supposed to feel. I love that. I love when she's like, I'm gonna go get your boots. I cleaned them. I'm like, I love that scene so much. And I think this scene has one of the most heartwarming moments and the best scene I've ever seen on screen between Superman and Paul Kent. And that's when he's on the bench and he's just telling him about a burrito place he went to. And then they have that little moment. And it's just like it reminded me of a conversation I would have with my own father. Like, you know, they're not going to be upright with their emotions and tell you how they're feeling, but that was like his way of reaching out to him. And then, like, if you grew up in like a Southern place, that's just kind of how we are. And I just feel like that was just a perfect representation of that. And I just love that moment. That was one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. It really made me got me a little choked up. And I was like, man, I can relate to that. How he's just talking to his son and he's just like, you know, he's obviously cares about him and worries about him, but he doesn't want to show it because he's got that. He wants to have a facade of being a man, and like, I just love the portrayal of Ma and Pa Kent in this movie. I know I'm in the minority, but yeah, Ma and Pa Kent, best Ma and Pa Kent for me. Love them. Best Lois Lane. Superman, like I said, give it a sequel. May probably be the best Superman. He did really well for his first outing. Now, Lex Luthor, let's get to him.
Oh, man.
I think he's by far the best Lex Luthor. I think he's one of the greatest
all time.
Yes, I think he's by far the best all time. I think he's Nicholas Hoult is a great actor. I love Nicholas Hoult and everything he's done, but I think he absolutely kills it in this movie. I think the first person I watched it with, my friend, basically said he carried this movie for me. Like he carried the movie for some people I watched it with. Like I think he gives an amazing performance. I think he is one of the best comic book villains we've gotten in any comic book movie in the last decade. I absolutely loved everything about him. He's smart. He's the ultimate hater. I wish I could be the hater. I wish I could be the S tier hater that he is, because he literally knows every move before he's going to make him with Ultraman when he does like the 1A scene, and he like knows all the different moves, and he studied all this stuff. He got his DNA from all these different battles, and like he's basically dedicated his whole life to just being a hater. And like from what I've heard from people who've actually like read the comics and love Lex Luthor in the comics, this is a very accurate portrayal of what Lex Luthor should be. Apparently, that's what I've heard. Like I said, I'm not a comic book expert at all, but from what I heard, this is a very accurate comic book portrayal of what Lex Luthor is.
I would maybe like the first hour and a half he was comic book accurate Lex, but that second half got a little sloppy.
And I can see
and that was James Gunn's fault. That was James Gunn, not Nicholas Holt's fault.
But I think it's the best Lex Luthor for me, for sure. I loved it.
Light years better than Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh yeah, let's.
Whoo, God damn!
He puts a little Jolly Rancher in his mouth. I will never forget that. That scene lives in my head rent free to this day from Batman v Superman, where he puts the Jolly Rancher in the dude's mouth and then licks his finger. He's like, "It's cherry." Like.
I think that's the first time in theaters I've ever yelled "what the fuck" in the middle of the movie. It's like,
yeah, Granny's peach tea, and like, come on now. What a time we lived in.
I want to throw a car at him for that. Him and Snyder, like, what is wrong with y'all?
But yeah, I loved Lex Luthor. I love the dynamic between Clark and Lois. I think they have the best chemistry on screen of any Clark and Lois Lane by far. I think Rachel Brosnahan and David Corn Sweat actually feel like a real couple, and they have so much chemistry. I absolutely love every scene with them. Every scene was amazing with them. Yeah, I love that. A standout for me was Mr. Terrific.
Oh.
Let's give some praise to him, because I think Ed Gathegi is his name. I think that's how you say it. Mm-hmm. I'm probably saying it wrong, and if I do say it wrong, I'm sorry, sir. I'm an idiot. Don't judge me. He was in X-Men First Class, I think it was.
Yep.
And he died and got killed pretty early in X-Men First Class. But I'm so glad to see him back in a comic book role, and he's for me, he's one of the best parts of the movie. Every scene with him was absolutely hilarious, and like he was just super funny and super just like kick ass, and just like I know nothing about Mr. Terrific. Like when I saw he was cast in this movie, and like I saw the pictures and stuff, I've seen pictures of like the T on his face. I've seen like comic pictures of that, so I've seen pictures of him, but I've never read anything about Mr. Terrific, so I can't say if he's comic accurate or not. But I will say he actually made me care about Mr. Terrific. I loved him. Like, I thought Mr. Terrific was amazing. Yeah. One of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, James Gunn had an agenda. He came in, he had his list of characters that mattered the most to him, and he devoted all his time and energy into those characters. So, and that's where like because I would have given Superman a perfect score, but like it starts to unravel a little bit and becomes you understand that it's a James Gunn movie, because it's like Guardians, Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. They all have this formula that's common in all of James Gunn's movies, and it is not going for this movie. So you know it's a James Gunn movie. The soundtrack, which is a big deal for his. Sometimes the cast members, because he's got to get his brother, Sean Gunn, is now playing Maxwell Lord for the DCU. It's just like small and large details that you'd be like, okay. So I will say this: Superman 2025 is basically James Gunn's best movie of all time. Maybe not the best DC movie of all time, but best James Gunn movie hands down.
What?
huge step up from Guardians. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Over the first Guardians and the third Guardians?
Third Guardians was pretty crazy. Third Guardians was pretty crazy, but Superman 2025 hit it. It had some spots that hit home with me. Cause like I'm sitting like an 8.5 and a 9 out of 10 right now as far as scoring this goes. And the only reason is because I know it's a James Gunn movie and he did nothing to hide that. I was like, it's cool. I expect them to make a trilogy, and I'm going to be ass in seats for the other two movies. So I don't think the movie is nearly awful. As y'all heard my score, 8.5, 9 out of 10 is not awful. But damn it, man. Like there were some ideas that could have turned out beautifully. Like Jacob named all the MVPs, which is basically the same MVPs that I have. The only difference is probably will be my complaints. The second half of Lex Luthor's act and not putting TLC in the Hot Girl, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this. All right, I completely agree with you on that because y'all are just gonna think I'm just in love with Latinas, and guess what? I am. Isabel Merced, my second favorite celeb crush. She's right behind Jenna Ortega for me. Her and Jenna Ortega are right there. All right. And when she was cast as Hawk Girl, I was so excited, man. So excited. Her as Dina in The Last of Us season 2. Best part of that series. Best part of that series.
Hands down.
But I was very underwhelmed by what they did with her in this movie for sure. And I know her screaming is part of her powers. I remember that from the Justice League show. But they could have done it executed it in a better way. I will say she has one great scene, and that's when she drops the president and she says, "I'm not Superman," and drops him, because that's something Hawk Girl would do in the comics. It's a very comic accurate Hawk Girl. She is a very more
anti-hero
like. She's more on the Batman dark side of things, like Hawk Guy. So yeah, I love that moment. That was a great moment. But other than that, yeah, she's very underdeveloped.
Yeah, and it's just like there's so many characters from DC Comics in this movie, and it's just like James chose his like 10 to somewhere between like 10 to 15 of them, gave them all the juice that they need, and then a whole bunch of other ones that were just as important fell off. And it's like maybe you shouldn't have went with that many characters in the first place. That could have saved him the trouble.
Yeah, that was my concern when I saw the trailer and I started seeing how many characters. I was like, oh my god, like James Gunn, that's his bag for sure. Is a ragtag group of characters. I mean, obviously that's his bag for sure. But with Superman, that's one character you really got to nail, and you can't really be. I know it's. And part of this movie, I feel like this movie is almost as great as it could have been, because it had to start the DCU. Like they put all the weight on this movie, and they basically was like, okay, James, you got to start the DCU with this movie. You can't just make a Superman movie. You got to start the origin for everything. So I understand why it got a little bogged down and there are too many characters, and I can see that issue. But also, I mean, he was tasked with having to set up a whole universe with this movie, which may have not been the best thing. Like I said, they could have done like the Iron Man, like the first Iron Man in the MCU. It's not bogged down by characters, and it still was able to start the MCU. So I feel like there was a way they could have done it.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have forced him to make such an enormous script just for this movie so he could accompany all of these characters. Because it's like, this movie was like a split up. It was like some Daily Planet, some Superman, some Lex Luthor. It was basically those three main components was this superhero movie. And I loved Daily Planet component of it.
Same. That's exactly what I was about to say. We're on the same wavelength. I loved the Daily Planet stuff. Perfect chemistry between everybody. Loved all that.
It's like, because you got Jimmy and Lois. They're basically not just journalists, like damn good journalists at what they do, and they pretty much have to stay informed. And she personally keeps Superman informed on what's going on with like world events and all that stuff. So that's how I kind of turn. The movie's not political messaging at all. It's just Superman deliberately, excuse me, making the choice to intervene with a country invading another country. And if it wasn't for the Daily Planet's journalism, Superman probably wouldn't have gotten involved. And that turned out good for the people that were being invaded and all that. At some point in the movie, the problems was just we need to stop the invasion. Hawk Girl goes after the president of the enemy country, and Superman. Well, no, Superman. He has other stuff to attend to. The Justice Gang showed up and saved the country being invaded. So that was Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I think Mr. Terrific showed up. Hawk Girl showed up. Metamorpho showed up, and they all fought to protect people. People take that messaging how they want, but it was a very badass moment for them. Lots of middle finger Green Lanterns flipping tanks over. CGI was pretty awesome for that.
I loved. I was very concerned about Guy Gardner Green Lantern, just because that doofy haircut, man. But they addressed it in the movie. I love that. That's a great scene when she roasts his haircut. That was a great scene, and also somehow they made it work for me. Like I really liked Guy Gardner's Green Lantern in this, and I thought I was gonna hate his character, but like it really worked for me. He was able to. He worked for me. The humor. Nathan Fillion was great. James Gunn wrote him well. Just really good performance. Yeah, I loved Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. Like I said, really, the whole Justice Gang I loved. It just Hot Girl was under the belt. She was the one that got the short stick.
Yeah, she sure did. And it's just like there's so much more lore behind her people too, the Thanagarians too. So maybe she get a spinoff and James Gunn can redeem himself with her later. That would be pretty awesome. But as of right now, as a member of the Justice Gang, I see that they're kind of like wearing matching uniforms so that people know that they're Justice Gang. But seeing in her comic accurate outfit would have been a better idea. People can say their opinion on that and feel how they want to feel. I wasn't feeling the Justice Gang uniform. I think the best looking fits were probably Mr. Terrific's and Guy Gardner's. Hawk Girl, I'm like, but
yeah.
But nonetheless, Justice Gang was nice. We didn't need Justice Gang for this movie to survive, but we're glad to have them, and they were actually a lot of help for Superman.
Yeah, and I also forgot to mention, I guess another thing that I liked about this film was I really like as a kid. I like the character. Some of the CGI could have been better, which was Krypto the Superdog. I think he was great. I think it was a great addition. I loved it as a kid. I loved the Krypto animated show growing up. There's one on Cartoon Network when I was growing up that I absolutely loved that show. That's probably more love I had for that than Superman entirely was for Krypto, just because of that show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sometimes the CGI on him could have been better, for sure. There's sometimes I was like, that's just. I was just like, nah, I get it's you can't do certain things with dogs. Obviously, you got to be safe, but I feel like the CGI could have been a little better on him at times. Where sometimes it's like that's just too fake looking for me. It's like a little uncanny valley feeling where it's just like, okay, I'm just looking at something fake here.
Yeah, that's one of the moments that took me out of my escapism too, unfortunately, because James Gunn had this bright idea that a doggo would fold everybody, and just like. As much as I love dogs, like I didn't need Krypto for this movie to be great. We didn't have Krypto in any other super movie, and just like all that extra millions of dollars that you spend on CGI for Krypto to go and back Superman up, like, bro, you could have just cast the Flash, maybe cast the Batman, maybe too soon to meet him, maybe I don't know. All these alternative options, and we wound up with Crypto. And I was like, all right, I'll just let it slide.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what they did with Crypto. I really liked. Uh, I liked him a lot. My only problem was the CGI could have been a little better with him.
Yeah,
But I really liked Crypto in general, and I really liked the scene where, and this is one of my favorite scenes too, where he's like, he's trying to go save Crypto, and Lois is like, but you don't really even care about the dog. He's like, yeah, and he's not really even that good of a dog, but he's out there and he's alone, and I know he's scared, and like, as a dog lover and a dog owner, I was just like, that just hit me to my core. And I was like, yeah, that's Superman. Like, that's something Superman would say. Like, that was a great moment. That provided a great moment for Superman to show, like, how optimistic he is and, like, how caring he is. I really love that about that movie.
yeah.
And that's the best thing, like I said, I can say about this movie is just, like, it's overwhelming feeling of optimism and just, like, in a world full of just, like, negative people, just trying your best, just, do the best you can. I feel like that's like the strong theme in this. And I really love that message so much as somebody who I feel like, especially nowadays, it's a lot of negative stuff all around and it's very hard to stay positive. And I feel like this was a movie we kind of needed. So yeah, and it was just, I love that part of it for sure. I was probably my other issue I had was I didn't have. That's okay. So I've seen this movie twice. I watched it twice. I watched it back-to-back weekends. I watched it with two because one of my friends wanted to see it, and then I went and saw it with another friend that couldn't see it. He had to wait, so I went and saw it with him again. And I think I liked it a little more on rewatch. But there's also something I noticed on rewatch, and that some of James Gunn's some of his humor doesn't work in it, and it kind of takes away from the story just a bit. He's got a little too much of his humor in there where I was just like, okay, we needed some more time to breathe with some of these elements. You could have done a little better with the humor. Some of the humor just didn't work for me in this film.
Yeah, and he does that consistently with all his projects. And it's like, James, the only way you'll be able to level up from your last work is like if you are open to advice from other people, because if you keep sticking to your style, everything's just going to keep turning out the same. And he's writing the Supergirl script now. He's writing Superman 2. I think he had something to do with like the Lanterns TV series that's supposed to be coming to HBO Max as well. But it's like, if you're writing all of this shit and Peacemaker, it's like, it's all going to be the same content. It's just different characters. So I'm hopefully he breaks his shell for that and learns to level up, because it's like, now you're on record for having a great first Superman movie, and you have to beat it with the second one. You have to level up. This is part of the DCU now. You're in charge of the DC cinematic universe. You gotta bring the heat, dude. This movie turned out to be an 8.5, like B plus, A minus on a good day movie for me. I was in escapism almost the entire time, and like Jacob said, some of the jokes didn't hit, and then there was just like characters that showed up quite a bit too much, but contribute absolutely nothing. As far as like, I guess my escapism, like hot girls here to whoop some ass, but that's all you're gonna get from it. And it's like, all right, dude, all right, bring it for the next movie, or I'm gonna be hurt.
Yeah, and also I really liked. I'm excited. I was already hyped for just the little synopsis for the Supergirl movie, but now I'm even more hyped seeing Supergirl. I love Millie Alcock. I think she's great actress. Love her. I think I'm super excited for Supergirl. So credit to James Gunn for doing good, or in the producers for great casting there. And I mean, the synopsis sounds like it's going to be a darker tone movie, so I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah, like some of these casting choices are interesting. Like some of them are like spot on with their character, and some of them are just like, what the hell? It's like, but it worked.
Yeah.
He found a way to make it work.
Yeah, and like I really liked, like, and also on rewatch, this is something I watched review High Top Films. Shout out to him, great YouTuber. He said this may be the most comic book movie ever made, and what he means by that is it feels like the most like comic book, like it's the most like if you read a comic book, that's what it feels like. And then I kept that in mind when I was rewatching this, and on rewatch, I think I would have to agree because it's basically like you walked into the store, you picked up a Superman comic, and you read it. Because I mean, that's how people discover comics. You don't start with edition number 1 usually, unless you're like a collector. You know, most people start with comics. You just pick up a random issue, and you're like years into his world or something, and it has to tell. And that's what I feel like this is, because it skips the origin story. You get little background dialogue and stuff. But, it starts with the 3 years ago Superman, and then 3 days, 3 hours, it does that whole thing at the beginning. And I really like that. And it does kind of feel like, it just feels like you just opened a comic book and you read there, because you go to the Daily Planet, you have the Justice Gang, you have all that. And so it does really, I will say it probably is the most comic booky movie ever that's closest to actually reading a comic book. I do agree with that. So that's an accomplishment in of itself. For sure.
Yeah, good work for that as well, James Gunn.
Yeah, and I really liked it. Like I said, love the optimism. I think David Cornsweet will be the best Superman if the sequel's as good. I really like him. All the casting, really. A few gripes. I wish there is one shot where when he saves the girl when she's on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And when he comes up from the rubble, that's a goosebumps-inducing shot right there. I absolutely love that shot. That's an iconic comic book movie shot now. I love that shot when it's all the rubble around him and Superman's there. I'm like, that's my Superman. There's so many scenes where like, that's Superman. And like, I'm a Superman fan now. Like, so it definitely got me hyped for sure. And I think it's one of the best Superman movies. It doesn't have the score that Man of Steel has, but that's Hans Zimmer. You can't really beat Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
But the score, I really like the score. The score was really good. Still, even if it wasn't my boy Hans. I also think my biggest issue with this movie, honestly, when I think about it, and the more I think about it, this is all I can think about, is the cinematography and the color grading for this movie. I think this movie could have been so much better if James Gunn just stopped with his wide lens stuff. Because there are so many scenes in this that are shot with the wide lens that just makes everything look distorted and have a funny feeling to it. And like that's why people make fun of like when the shots of him flying. It's because he shot that with a wide lens, and when you do that, it's going to make the face look kind of dysmorphed. So like, I just wish he would have used better. I think the cinematography could have been a lot better. That was my biggest knock on this movie, was cinematography. Besides that one shot that gave me goosebumps, that was a beautiful shot. Love that. The shot when he saves Krypto and the baby and all those colors in the black hole, beautiful shot. Mm-hmm. Some beautiful shots in here for sure, but it wasn't consistent enough. It wasn't. So many shots just look flat, or the color grading was just not right for me. It just kind of ugly to look at. And some of the cinematography, I wanted, as a cinematography whore, you guys know me as Jacob's Film Perspectives. Cinematography is one of my top things you got to have in a movie for me to. If you got cinematography right, I can forgive a lot. And I feel like this movie could have just done cinematography a lot better. I don't know who did this. I think the same guy that did the cinematography on The Flash was the cinematographer on this, and it makes a lot of sense because they do look that kind of CGI, kind of washed out, kind of weird color grading look. I just wanted it to be a little more colorful at times. It is colorful, but I wanted it to be a little more colorful, and I just thought the cinematography could have been better in a lot of ways.
Yeah, sure. I lean heavier towards Fantastic Four cinematography than I do Superman's.
Oh, by far. But yeah, I just wish the cinematography was better. I think it's my biggest knock on this movie. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I touched on like Crypto, all that. I love Mom, Paul Kent, even though people hate him, I love him. That's my hot take for this movie. The only other thing that I have an issue with is it's kind of minute, but Baby Joey is so ugly to look at.
Baby Joey.
It's Metamorpho's baby.
Oh, yeah.
all of that. I'm not trying to hate on a child, but you know it's a CGI alien child, so it's okay. I hated everything with the Baby Joey stuff. I thought that was just so goofy and off and stupid. Like I just did not care about this baby whatsoever. I was just like, why does it look like that? It just looked. It was just off-putting to look at. I just didn't want to see it. I was like, get it off my screen.
Yeah, that whole little bit of Rescue Metamorpho.
Metamorpho, I was just like, Metamorpho just didn't do it for me. I didn't care about the whole Metamorpho stuff at all.
Yeah, that kind of goes into like him picking his 15 characters to work hard on, and then the rest of them get fucked. It's like, damn it, man. Metamorpho could have been like a great use for later on. Like, there's so many creative differences I have with James Gunn on how this movie could have been executed. I would say my one thing that I would have prioritized over everything else is making sure that Lex Luthor comes off as somebody that's like cool, collected, still a little crazy, is still a huge asshole. But that was a script thing. Nicholas Holt's performance was great. I just didn't like the part that when he's finally confronted by Clark, he just comes apart as a dude that's just obsessed and almost borderline bigoted against Superman. It's like there's a little bit more to it than that. Lex Luthor is a layered man, but it's not exactly the most comic accurate Lex Luthor by any means by way of writing. But I am excited to see Nicholas Hoult again. So hopefully they do better the next movie. Like he's just not just some nut job. He's a genius and Superman's arch nemesis for a reason with no powers.
I have no complaints there. I like I said, I think he's one of the best comic book villains in a movie in the last decade. I loved everything about his portrayal as Lex Luthor. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't like I said, like I have those little issues, cinematography, some of the CGI, yeah, some of the stories kind of all over the place. Some of the humor doesn't completely work, but I still think it's a great film. I think it captures the heart of Superman.
Absolutely.
And I think it accomplishes what it needed to accomplish. I think that was the main thing. It had to get Superman right. It had to start off this universe, and I think it did that. And I think it was a great start to the DCU. It's got me excited for everything coming. It's got me more interested in Superman again. Like I said, I've never been a Superman guy. So yeah, with that, I mean, my grade, I gave it A-.
Hey.
On Letterboxd, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it's a great film. I just had those little issues, but yeah, I think it's a great film overall.
Absolutely, I agree.
The only other thing I can think of, because this issue came out with both people I watched this with, they didn't like how weak they made Superman. Did that bother you?
Now that you mentioned that, this is the first time I've thought about this since I've seen the movie. Damn, that might be the most accurate depiction I've seen of Superman in a while. Because Superman does get his ass kicked in a lot of his content. It's just like some people try to excuse that by him pulling his punches, and other people are just like, yeah, Superman, as powerful as he is, I don't know why he gets tossed around so fucking much. And it's like some of the villains that's beating him up ain't even using kryptonite. So
that's
why?
What my friends had the problem with. Both of my friends are like, man, they made Superman too weak in this movie. Like that was the biggest issue, was they made him too weak. I think for me, I think it was just enough. I think he was still. I think it had enough where it showed his powers. Like I think it showed him strong enough, but it also showed that he wasn't. You know, because I mean, it's a hard thing to do because he's Superman. He's supposed to be like the strongest superhero ever. You know, only kryptonite's supposed to be his thing. So but to like make him an interesting character, you have to give him some pitfalls. You have to give him some losses. So and I feel like they did that well enough. Like I don't think he's too weak in this movie. I really don't. I disagree with that. I think it was well done enough.
Yeah, like this is like literally comic accurate Superman. He gets tossed around quite a bit. He doesn't completely lose, but it's just like if on a universal level, if everybody could be on the same page about how Superman fights, that would be awesome. Because if people who say Superman can't go all the way out, like you don't have to. Like Spider-Man pulls his punches and he's still able to beat the shit out of Green Goblin without killing him. So there's no excuse for Superman to not meet his enemies halfway. So
yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I love the overall message. I also love the message of the parents, where like a lot of people are upset about how they changed his parents' message from because usually his parents are telling him to be the hopeful savior. I like the change. I like that his parents were like, yeah, we want you to rule and like create a master race. I love that. I like that change. I like that dark switch. And I like that it showed that like Superman is who he is, not because of a message his alien parents gave him. It's these people that adopted him. He was raised by good people, and it shows what happens when you're raised by good people.
Oh, so, now that you mentioned that, there is one thing a lot of content creators are getting wrong about this movie. Lex Luthor digitally altered that message from his parents. Superman still wasn't able to hear the full message of what instructions they wanted to give him. And Lex Luthor just flat out like, I just don't like this guy, so I'm just going to lie and say he was here to exterminate the human race. And I was like, damn. And because of the fake news and propaganda of Superman supposedly being sent here to kill everybody, Superman basically had to battle that misinformation, and he lost basically. So there was no way to redeem himself besides prove it, prove your worth to the human race. And he didn't have the motivation to do that, so he went back to Kansas. That's when Paul gave him that heartfelt speech, and he was like, you know what, the hell with all that shit. I'm gonna show you why I'm actually here. And I've heard a few people just like, yeah, Jor-El and Superman's mom instructed him to wipe the planet out. I wish James Gunn would clear that up for sure, because I remember Lex Luthor did something to that because he couldn't get, because he could not get dirt on Superman. Like he went all the way to the Fortress of Solitude looking for whatever dirt he could find. Couldn't get it, made some shit up, and the whole world fell for it. And Clark had a bad day.
He did, actually. He came out and said that message is real.
Oh, Superman said that? Or Lex?
James Gunn came out and said, because people were giving him grief about it, and in an interview, you can look it up, he came out and said that that message was real. It wasn't altered.
Oh.
That he made that purpose. And
that's bad for him.
And you can kind of see that in the movie because they say that's another thing. Some of the exposition, it's a little too exposition heavy in this movie. Some of the dialogue, because in this movie they say like 6 different times it can't be faked. It was studied by so and so, so and so. So it's kind of written on the wall that it isn't faked because they push it in your face that it isn't faked. But yeah, he did come out in an interview shortly after the movie was released and said, yeah, he didn't digitally alter it.
That's good clarification. It's a hit on him for not having clarification in the movie. But that's already came and gone. My biggest thing with James Gunn is why make this decision? Because Jor-El's not a genocidal maniac in comics, so why is he a genocidal maniac now?
I loved it. Because it showed that it's how you're raised more. It's who you choose to be. It's not this predestined thing. And I really like that message. And especially for people that are like adopted and stuff, that's a really strong message, I bet, for people that, don't know their real parents, that I really like that. I like that message that it's about the people who raised you and the choices you make. It's not your parents sent you here and you're going off of this message they sent you. I really like that switch. I really love that. I don't see why people have an issue with that. I think it's a lot smarter writing, and I think it's more emotional and impactful that he chose himself to be good, even though his parents ended up him not. He decided, I'm going to do it for myself and because of how I was raised. Like, that's such a strong message.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that right there, I would assume is James Gunn's agenda. Like, pretty much, I know in the comics, Jor-El or both of Superman's parents sent him to Earth to be Earth's defender. So completely doing a whole 180 for this new live action movie for DC kind of blows a lot of day one Superman fans away because it's like, wait, when did Jor-El become evil? It was like, all right, fuck it, just let James Gunn have it. The movie turned out good anyway, but it's just like, damn, Jor-El's evil now. So how is this going to proceed down the road? Like, Supergirl going to be crazy? There's so much stuff that we have to find out later on. And it's just like, I don't know. There are some creative choices that could have been made differently, but he did what he did, and he still made money off of it. So shout out to James Gunn. Not an awful mistake to make.
Yeah, come at me, all you comic book nerds. I like that change. I like that switch.
Yeah, like, man, evil Jor-El is crazy, but
I like it. I really do. I appreciate it. But like I said, I'm not a Superman comic book guy at all. I've never been into Superman like that, so I like that change. But I could see where people that are diehard Superman fans would not like that. But I loved it. But yeah, overall, great film. That was really all I really have to say about that film. Is just I thought it was great. Like I said, A-, 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Definitely the movie, a superhero movie that was needed. Love the message of optimism and hope. Just could have been more focused, a little better dialogue, a little less humor, better shot, some better CGI. Like I said, some nitpicks there, but it's still a great film overall, for sure.
Absolutely. Shout out to Diego and Adam Smith. They are tuning in and showing us some love.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Fake news. Everything is fake news.
Hell yeah. That's it for Superman. We're on to the grand finale.
It's time for Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four! Oh, and he got the shirt on too. Hold on, we gotta get your what do they call it? A rewind.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. There it is. Oh yeah. There we go. Johnny Storm. Thing.
It's my boy. Fantastic Four.
And Blake Hickman just showed up. Big shout out to Fundamentals.
What's good, Blake? Shout out.
Yeah, we just finished Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, Fantastic Four. Yeah, I was more excited for this than Superman. I will say that. I've always loved the Fantastic Four. Now I'm not a comic book nerd. I'm a movie guy. So my first introduction to the Fantastic Four was, of course, the 2005 film, and then the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer. And then I loved those movies growing up. I've never, even when Silver Surfer came out, the second one, Rise of the Silver Surfer, I didn't really care for it that much. But the first one, I loved. I love the first movie. I have nostalgia for it. I need to rewatch it. It's been probably 15 years since I've seen it or something. Maybe even 20 from all I know. I don't know. But like, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Over a decade for sure. Definitely need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I love Johnny Storm. Was one of my first superheroes I loved and fell in love with. My whole reason for it's probably the reason why I love Captain America is because of Chris Evans in Fantastic Four. Chris Evans is Johnny Storm. When I was in first grade, I thought he was the coolest man alive as Johnny Storm. He's just getting all the women. He was so just badass. I just absolutely loved him.
Hell yeah.
And I so much so that I even dressed up for the Human Torch for Halloween that year. The movie came out.
Oh, damn.
I wish I had a picture to share, but I do not. I don't know if I probably have a picture somewhere. But when I was about 7 years old, yeah, I dressed up as the Human Torch just because of Chris Evans' portrayal in Fantastic Four. I was obsessed with the Human Torch. Anything Human Torch, obsessed with. He was my favorite hero. I remember playing the PlayStation 2 game, and I always picked the Human Torch anytime I could. Johnny Storm's one of my guys. But yeah, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, that was my boy. I love the movie so much. Jessica Alba. She was always a baddie. I love The Thing, the practical effects on The Thing. Michael Chiklis as The Thing. I always liked him. Reed Richards was okay. I don't really remember him much. He was kind of the weakest one, probably. But,
Ian Gruffud.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Some weird name, but and then Rise of Silver Surfer came out. And I love the Silver Surfer, of course. Any 8-year-old, I was 8 when it came out, I think. Any 8-year-old kid is going to love the Silver Surfer. I mean, and I didn't know about Galactus then. Yeah, that's true about Jessica Alba. But I didn't know about Galactus then, so him being a giant cloud never offended me because I was an 8-year-old kid. I didn't know anything about him. Now, when I look back, I'm like, man, that was such a stupid decision. But
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, though, even as a kid, besides the Silver Surfer, I barely remember anything about that movie. So, but the first one will always hold a special place. I have nostalgia for. Created my love for Chris Evans. It's where I first saw Chris Evans. Probably is why I love Captain America and the MCU.
Steve Rogers.
Why I became a Human Torch stan. I've always loved Johnny Storm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's really my experience with the Fantastic Four. Before that, I didn't read any comics, really. I didn't watch the 2015 one until after I saw this new one. I went back on Disney Plus and I watched it because I was like, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, come on now. And I knew I knew all the reviews were bad, and I knew it was a god-awful. Everybody said it was a god-awful movie, and yes, it is a god-awful movie. I think I gave it like a 1.5 stars on Letterboxd out of 5 or something. Like it is an awful movie. Doctor Doom is horrendous. It is offensive what they do with Doctor Doom in that movie for sure.
They don't even look like the characters even remotely.
I love the meme though of say that again. The whole Fantastic Four meme at the end. I love the meme of that. Michael B. Jordan could have been a really cool Human Torch, but they just kind of wasted him.
That was so much. If I Google who the director is for this movie, I'm probably going to get very upset because like, you had to have so much ego to have all the people in the world that you could refer to make a Fantastic Four movie.
It was Josh Trank. He have you seen Chronicle?
Yeah,
It's the same guy that directed Chronicle. They hired him to direct after Chronicle. They hired him to direct Fantastic Four.
Oh my god!
But apparently he was going through a lot during the production, and apparently the production was really botched by Fox, and there's a bunch of writers on it, and I read into the whole story. If you guys want to look it up, there's a lot of production issues and stuff. And there's
I
a lot
definitely will.
Him and Miles Teller butted heads, and like his dog died while filming, I think, and he said it really messed him up, and he showed up to set drunk and stuff, and like so there's like a lot of there's like a lot of production drama behind that movie, so that's probably why it was so bad. But yeah, I'm glad I waited to watch it for free years later. I just wanted to see it out of morbid curiosity so I could watch it. But yeah, that's my experience with the Fantastic Four. What about yours, Deontay?
Pretty much the exact same movie, because it's just like when I watched the 2007 one, I'm like, why the hell is Jessica Alba kissing another man? That is my girl. Ian McGruffy was on my shit list for like the past 20 years, and he's still on my shit list because it's like you don't even look like Reed. So it's like you made Sue is a beautiful, beautiful character in the comics. She's supposed to be. She's a model. But damn, Jessica Alba is like the epitome of hot in that era. They could have just went for like a blonde, whatever, and paired them up with Ian. But you took my bae, so I'm gonna fight these directors for all these crazy decisions. And then Sue Storm, I think was Kate Mara for the 2015, and I was like. She's all right. It's like she's. I love Kate Mara. She could have been literally anybody in Fantastic Four but Sue Storm. It just the casting decision alone should have made Hollywood feel like we probably shouldn't even let these fuckers film, and they let it do it anyway, and now they suffer the consequences for it. So. Sidebar, rest in peace, Julian McMahon. That is definitely the OG Doom and my favorite Doom. I don't know if RDJ will surpass him, but
I need to watch it. I don't remember his portrayal of Dr. Doom. Like I said, it's been over a decade. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, he was fairly decent for the time this was coming out. I really wish they would have put more TLC into Galactus, because now we have this 2025 movie, The First Steps, and we clearly see there is no excuse for making a great Galactus, because I'm not going to say Galactus in the 2025 movie carried the movie by any means, but I do not regret spending $1 on that movie ticket because of Galactus. It was so good.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But like, so your background is basically you just watch the movies. You never really got into the comics.
Now that I think about it, I actually started out a Fantastic Four hater because of the movie. So I enjoyed the movies, but I wound up hating it because of the Jessica Alba shit. But then, as an adult, I was probably like 31, 32, and I decided to give their animated series a chance from like the 90s. Not bad, and it helps me see more into their world. I love their Rogues Gallery now. So being a brand spanking new Fantastic Four comic book fan, there's a lot about the Marvel's first family that I didn't know, especially who's all in their Rogues Gallery, and it makes you look at Marvel a whole lot different. So, and it makes more sense now that Kevin Feige wanted First Steps to be done right, because we've already seen like a whole bunch of Fantastic Four villains like MODOK, Kang the Conqueror. Sorry, Jonathan, but and we seen more than that. So I'm really glad they got Galactus right. They got Mole Man right. Uh, I do not remember the government name for the actor, but he is from Cobra Kai. He plays Stingray.
Paul
Damn
Walter
good.
Hauser.
Yeah, Walter Hauser plays him, and Stingray in Cobra Kai is literally Mole Man by personality. So it's like when I saw the announcement, I belted out a fucking laugh. So the movie paid great homage to the comics for sure. I still got a lot more to read. It seems like it's not a maybe there's like one more TV show, but there's not a lot of live action outside the movies.
There is one, I don't know if you've heard about, there's one that was made in the 90s. It's not very well known, but you can get it on like bootleg Blu-ray and you can find it like in places. It wasn't officially released, but it is a live action film. It was directed by Roger Corman, who's like a journeyman director. He's made many cult classics. Roger Corman is responsible for a lot of directors and stuff. Legend. R.I.P. to him. He died recently as well.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, he directed one in the 90s. And it never saw the light of day. But now I think it's actually got an official Blu-ray release or maybe bootleg. I can't remember. But there is ways you can watch it. And apparently, and it's a 90s, but I'd like to watch that for sure. Just to see.
Yeah, now because of what's been happening recently, like I'm kind of big into Fantastic Four now. So that's interesting to know that there's like a 90s TV show in live action for them too. The cartoon was pretty dope. They stayed close to the comics. Johnny Storm and Thing have this back and forth where every other thing. They roast each other and all that, and it's pretty much the bulk of their comedy. So that was one thing I was looking for going into the 2025 movie, and they did make some changes to Reed Richards' personality throughout the years. And when it started with the cartoon, like Reed Richards was like mad misogynist towards his wife. They took that out going forward, and I'm kind of glad they did. But he is still the world's smartest man, and he still can be brutally honest at times. And yeah, I'm here for it. Like, stay true to that. The actors did a great job in most of the movies, and the writing hasn't been awful, like god awful, up until like the 2015 movie. So.
Oh yeah, and the 2015 movie, since we're still on that, and yeah, like you said, I'm the same way. I've just recently got more into the Fantastic Four because of this movie. It's got my hype for Fantastic Four even more. Like I said, I went literally the day after I watched it. I went and saw the 2015 one because I wanted more Fantastic Four and I wanted to see what everybody was about. But yeah, it's not comic accurate at all because they don't even go into space in that one. They go to a different dimension, and that's how they get their powers. How they get their powers is so stupid. And it's just like, just keep it simple. Keep it simple like it is in the comics. They go to space, and they run into some cosmic energy, and it gives them their powers. That's all you have to do. You don't have to try to explain how they try to do in the 2015 movie.
You don't even have to show the origin. You can do it the way they did it in 2025. Like, they had him on a talk show, and the host pretty much told the origin story right there on stage for them, which is exactly how the animated series started.
It's perfect to do that way. But yeah, I'm definitely been more into Fantastic Four, and I was so excited that we didn't. It did like a Superman thing where basically, we start off kind of already at, I think 4 years in. They're 4 years in this one. 4 years into being the team. I like that we don't get another. We don't need another origin. We get what we get in here is enough. And I'll start off by saying, I was more anticipated for this movie, and I'm just going to be upfront with it, and then I can talk about what I love about it. Besides a few nitpicks, I absolutely love this movie. I think it is the best MCU movie for sure since Guardians Volume 3. For sure since then. Maybe since Endgame. Possibly since Endgame. No Way Home, and I love No Way Home in Volume 3, so it's kind of hard, but this is by far the best. I feel like the MCU's back with this movie. People were saying Thunderbolts brought him back. Thunderbolts is really good, don't get me wrong, but this was the first step, no pun intended, in getting back. For sure. I think this movie I gave this movie a 5 out of 5 A+. That's how much I love this movie. I gave it a 10 out of 10. That's how much I love this movie. It is my second favorite movie of the year. It's the second movie I gave 5 stars to this year. I absolutely loved it. I felt like a little kid again watching it. I love everything about it. I love Chris Evans. I love Chris Evans as Human Torch. And my two biggest worries were two things. And actually, I'll answer Blake's question real quick. And then I'll get my two things. What are your thoughts in comparison with Thunderbolts? Within Thunderbolts, like I said, Thunderbolts was like it wasn't the first step. It was like the little tiny half step for me. I give Thunderbolts a B+, a 3.5 out of 5. And this is a 5 out of 5 A+. So that's the difference there in the numerical and why this is better. And I'll explain why this is better in many ways. But I'll just give you an overview since the question's here. It's better in story, cinematography, acting, characters, every way. But yeah. But Thunderbolts is still really good. I really like Thunderbolts. I don't want people to think I hate on Thunderbolts. That was a really good. That was like the first after Captain America 4. It was a breath of fresh air for sure to get Thunderbolts. Because Captain America 4, my God. But
yeah.
I don't. The more I think about the movie, the more I hate it. But
so Jake Schreier is the director for Thunderbolts. He hasn't had a whole lot of like big.
Yeah, he did Beef. He did the Netflix series Beef that I know. That's the only thing I know him of.
Yeah, and he did a Kendrick Lamar music video too. So his career is not that massive. Well, it's massive, but it's not that. Like many years
wise. Yeah.
Right. And he just got put in charge of X-Men, so hopefully he winds up. Yeah. Hopefully he does X-Men better than Thunderbolts, because I will cry.
Yeah. I hope they get deeper with X-Men than they did with Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was too surface level for me.
Yeah,
personally.
It felt like a James Gunn movie, honestly, but
in a way,
he had to get by. Mm-hmm.
The story was a little too surface level in Thunderbolts. I wanted deeper themes in that one. The mental health stuff wasn't touched on deep enough. But it was kind of surface level stuff. But yeah, back to Fantastic Four. Like I said, my favorite comic book movie probably since Guardians Volume 3. Honestly, in general, out of DC, anything, I loved it. I mean, like I said, 5 out of 5 A+. I did not expect us to give it a 5 out of 5 coming out of the theater. I am in love with this movie. And like I was saying about Chris Evans, I love Chris Evans as Human Torch. That's where my Human Torch love started. And one of my biggest concerns was Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, because I haven't seen him in Stranger Things. I'm not a Stranger Things person. I know, shocker. But like, I haven't seen him as Eddie in Stranger Things. I know people tell me to watch it. I'll get to it. But I've only seen him in the newest Quiet Place. That's the only thing. And Warfare. He's in one of my other favorite movies of this year, Warfare. He's great in that. I was really concerned because the trailers had me worried about how he was going to be Johnny Storm. He was kind of off in the trailers to me. This is the best Johnny Storm on screen we've ever gotten. I'm sorry, Chris Evans, but he wiped the floor. He's the best Johnny Storm, comic accurate, everything. And not only that, he's one of my new favorite MCU characters.
Okay.
Like, he's in my top 10 favorite MCU characters ever now. Like, I love him that much. Like I said before, I'm a Johnny Storm guy in general. Human Torch has always been like my guy, like I've said. So
Flame
like,
on.
if you give me a good Human Torch, that's gonna automatically be one of my favorite MCU characters. So yeah, he's one of my new favorite MCU characters. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, whatever it is, butchered his name, as the Thing. Incredible. That was another thing I was concerned about, was the CGI. Deontay knows this because I always complained about it to him. Every trailer we watch, he heard my complaints. I bitched to him about it all the time. Man, the CGI. They said, shut up, Jacob. They said, shut up. Doing this right. Because they nailed the thing. You don't even, it's like you don't even notice that that's a giant CGI mocap. You don't notice it. Like, you just see the Thing. Like, it's that good. And that's a credit to the CGI and his performance as well. And the writing and the cinematography too. That is like literally, like, I was so shocked at how much I loved how the Thing looked. Like, it looks so much better than the trailers. Like, he looks amazing.
He is like 1-to-1 with his comic book.
Yeah, just perfect. And then my other issue was Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I was really worried because they've been casting that boy and everything, and I love me some Pedro, but you don't have to cast him and everything. And I was like, is this just like a fancy casting because he's Pedro Pascal, or is he going to be a good Reed Richards? He sold me within the first 10 minutes. He is the best Reed Richards on screen we've ever gotten. I thought he was great as Reed Richards. I didn't even see Pedro Pascal. I saw Reed Richards. Like, he was completely different. I think this is his best role in his entire career, besides Joel in The Last of Us. I can't.
Oh man,
him as Joel in The Last of Us is so good, but this is his best one besides that for sure.
Dude, Pedro is a damn good actor. He is a damn good actor.
He blew my mind with Reed Richards. I was like, I don't see this guy as Reed Richards whatsoever. Oh, he proved me wrong. Vanessa Kirby, maybe the best acting in the movie overall as Sue Storm. Oh, probably the best. Performance. Obviously, the best Sue Storm. I'm sorry, Jessica Alba, but
hands down,
the best.
I agree with this.
This was some of the best CGI. Oh, I completely agree. When I literally, this actually happened to me. But him, yeah, it was a huge surprise for me too, Blake. But Blake, to your point, I was halfway through the movie. I was watching this with a friend. I turned and looked at him, and I was like, I cannot believe this is a Marvel movie. The CGI in this movie is impeccable. It is perfect for me. It is some of the best visual effects I've seen in any movie in a while. It is so good. There's one scene between the Silver Surfer and the Human Torch, and there's a moon in the background. I could have that as my lock screen. Like, it is gorgeous.
So good.
Like, it is so amazing. And let's get to that. I was really worried about Julia Garner, too, as Silver Surfer. I know she's comic accurate. I know that, so I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. But I was like, why did we have to do the female version? Like, I was like, why can't we just have the classic Silver Surfer if we're doing classic everything, you know?
Right, because you gave us an accurate Galactus, so...
Yeah, but she killed it. I loved her as Silver Surfer. She was amazing as Silver Surfer. And the CGI on her was amazing as well. Yes, they need to just keep that VFX, please. Just do everything with them, please. Because,
absolutely.
Like, I watched this in a double feature with Superman again. I watched Superman first, Fantastic Four. Like we just said, Superman was great. The difference in the visual effects between Superman and this blew my mind. I was like, Marvel? What are you like? You're out here beating Superman right now with your CGI. What are we doing, MCU? Usually you are terrible with your CGI. What are we on? What drugs were they taking? Like, they just were locked in, dialed in on everything.
Yeah, it's like the people all over the internet have been disagreeing on Marvel movies since Endgame, and for all of us to agree on Fantastic Four is insane. That is insane. Like, we couldn't even agree on fucking Shang-Chi. We couldn't agree on Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We couldn't agree on shit. We couldn't agree on shit until Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and Herbie was great. I loved Herbie. Mole Man was amazing.
So good.
I loved his little side plot. Everything was so good. Yeah, Max Shackman, amazing. I know he did WandaVision, and he also worked on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So he's got good writing credits for sure.
He is a beast.
Yeah, he killed it with this. This is his best thing by far. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, love the Thing dynamic with Joseph Quinn. Love their great humor. I'm a Galactus guy now.
Hey.
And before this movie, I was like, I hope they get Galactus right. I was worried about the CGI on Galactus. Killed it. Looks incredible.
So
and
good.
The guy that did the voice, Ralph Ineson, he's an amazing actor. He has a great voice. He's been in like Pope's Exorcist. He's been in like not Pope's Exorcist, The First Omen. Sorry, I'm mixing up my Exorcist movie.
Yeah, The First Omen. Yeah.
He's in The First Omen, and he's in The Witch too, by Robert Eggers. And his voice was perfect for Galactus. And Galactus is now one of the best villains in the MCU in general. Like, he is so good. And people were like, oh, he's just a big guy, giant guy. Okay, but that's his whole point. That is Galactus. That's what he does. He eats planets. What more do you want? Like,
yeah.
Like, he's not going to be like a in-depth, super in-depth character, but he's going to be a intimidating character. And like, it was ominous. Like, you could feel his presence throughout the whole movie. You could feel him looming. You felt the ominous, and I love that. It had like a horror vibe to it, where you felt like him looming over the movie. And like, you're killing it with the villains. You're killing it with the CGI. You're all the characters. Come on, like, I have no bad things to say about this movie. The only nitpicks I have with this movie is maybe the whole Franklin thing, how he brought his mom back to life. That was a little predictable. And, he just has these special cosmic powers. He can bring her back to life. It's that simple. But besides that, and maybe the story is a little simple at times, but it's supposed to be the first steps, the Fantastic Four. Like, if I really could nitpick it, it would still maybe be an A, 4.5 out of 5. But I loved it so much that I just said A+, 5 out of 5. It deserves it. I loved it. And I will tell you, I'm jumping ahead here, but I have to do it before I forget. When that mid-credit scene happened, and I saw Dr. Doom sitting there with his mask down, I have not gotten excited about a Marvel credit scene since Endgame. Like, I can't remember of any Marvel mid-credit scene that I was like, oh, yes, I'm so excited for the next movie. When I saw that, I audibly gasped.
Mm-hmm.
I audibly made a noise in the theater. I was one of those annoying nerds that you hear in the theater, like when they record the reaction videos and you hear all the nerds go, ah! That was me. That was me with Dr. Doom. I was like, that's what pushed it to 5 stars with me. Like, I was just like, yes.
Yeah, Dr. Doom, man. And we don't even have all the proof in the world to confirm that's RDJ in that. That could be another one. That could be another Doom. Or it could be RDJ. They're good at keeping secrets. And I believe they have one more massive trick up their sleeve that's going to come out within the next couple of movies. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
It really is that simple with Franklin, but he's doing so much. They had to give us a slight teaser of an inkling of his power. Yeah, I understand that. And that's why I give it the pass, because I'm like, I bet in the next movie we'll get better understanding and it'll fix my issue I have with this movie. So, like, that's what I said. That's why I just gave it the 5 out of 5, because it's perfect, I will say, though, I still am on the fence about RDJ as Dr. Doom. I still do not like – I wish they would have just casted somebody different. You don't have to do him again. Like, I don't want no multiverse. He's Iron Man in one verse. He's Dr. Doom. Just have somebody play Dr. Doom. So hopefully they do it well. We'll see. But yeah.
That's where my theory comes from for sure, because it's like it's RDJ for now, but does Marvel have one more trick up their sleeves?
I would
That's
love
what
it.
they
I
won't tell
would
us.
love it. I would love if they changed that, honestly, because
Uh,
when he was announced as Doctor Doom, I was like, come on. I was like, why? Why do we need him again? I love Robert Downey Jr. as much as the next person, but he was Iron Man. We don't need give somebody else a shot to be iconic.
exactly. Like you get my two least favorite castings in the longest while. RDJ as Doom and Pedro as Reed, because I was that locked in on getting John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
I prefer Pedro now that I've seen them both.
Now that I've seen those fuckers, like yeah, all
They
right,
made the right choice.
let Feige cook.
So hopefully they know what they're doing with RDJ and Doctor Doom. But yeah, this movie, like I said, I loved it. Galactus, amazing. Everything about it was amazing. The retro vibe, everybody was talking about this, but the world, I love that's on a different Earth. So we don't have to concern ourselves about like where's Spider-Man, where's anybody. It's on a different Earth, so you don't have to worry about it. And I like that they did that. It's just a simple origin story. It felt like a first phase MCU movie. It felt like Iron Man. It felt like those early days Thor. You know, it felt like the early days where it was just like, okay, it's just these guys, this story, let's go. And like I love that. The world is so immersive. I was so immersed in this world. It felt so real. It's like everybody's been comparing it to like the Jetsons, and I see that it is like a Jetsons world. I loved it. I was so enamored by it. This movie is eye candy galore. Like I think it's gorgeous. I think it's visually perfect. The cinematography is visually stunning. Unlike my complaint with Superman that I just had, the cinematography on this popped off. The cinematographer just killed it. This, like I said, the visual effects, best visual effects I've seen in a while. I just loved everything about it. The stories, the characters, everybody was written well. I love like Johnny Storm. I mean, just best of everything now. I love this movie. I have no issues with it. I've been seeing some people like give this movie like low grades, like 3 out of 5s, 2.5 out of 5s on Letterboxd, and people saying it's too simple. It's kind of familiar. Galactus is not. It's just a giant guy. The characters don't. It's too short. Characters aren't given time to shine. I thought it was a breath of fresh air. I loved that it was under 2 hours. In, out, under 2 hours. Tell your story. Let's do that. We don't have to make this epic 2.5 hour thing for this first origin story. Like, just keep it simple. And they did that with the film. They kept everything simple, but they executed it all perfectly, visually, cinematically, story-wise. Amazing. Like I said, I absolutely love this movie. I loved Vanessa Kirby in the role. Like I said, it's the best portrayal of all these characters I've ever seen live action. Like, I am so excited to see more Fantastic Four. Like it literally, like you said, it made you get in it. Me too. Like I never really looked into like the background of Doctor Doom and where he came from before. I only knew him from the movies and like a few comics. And then I finally looked it up. Like I was sitting here on Marvel's, like their fan base thing you can read where you can read all their comics and stuff. I was on there the other night after watching the 2015 one, just reading like him and Reed's rivalry and like how he blames Reed for what happened to his face. And like I'm so excited to see where that goes and how he trained like Tibetan monks.
Yeah.
And like I hope they stick with that OG where like his mother made a deal with Mephisto. And he died, and then like he spent his whole life trying to learn both science and magic to get revenge, and then he goes to college with Reed Richards. They have this rivalry. Reed points out that he has some issues with his experiment he was trying to do to contact his mother or whatever, or get his mother, and then he blames Reed for everything, unjustifiably, really, but he blames Reed for what happened to his face, and then he goes off with Tibetan monks, and they give him his suit, and then he comes back and rules the land he's from, and like like I would have never looked in any of that if I wouldn't have watched. Like this movie made me want more. Where I went and read into the comics now, like, and that's the biggest compliment I think a comic book movie can get is like it made you want to go back to the comics and like see more from these people. Like, yeah, I'm rambling on. I'm gonna take a break and let you say some things. Yeah, if you guys can't tell, I love this movie. But yeah.
Yeah, dude, Fantastic Four First Steps is like if anything post Endgame, I was obsessed with Shang-Chi. I was obsessed, obsessed with Multiverse of Madness, and I want to say I wasn't head over heels with Wakanda Forever. Loved it, but I wasn't head over heels with it. And then you got like Guardians Volume 3 and Thunderbolts. I would say I would put Fantastic Four above all of them, honestly. Like Fantastic Four is like the true Phase 1 movie we deserved a long time ago. Iron Man was good for the time that it came out, but then you realize it's just like, it was enough to get by. I wasn't locked in as an Iron Man fan until Iron Man 2, with that iconic scene with War Machine and Iron Man going to town on robots. Some of the best use in CGI in history. And then Fantastic Four comes out of nowhere and says, all right, hold my drink, bitch. And then does an even better job at of doing CGI fighting. Because I was worried about like Reed stretching, how goofy they were going to have Reed look, Pedro look. You can't really screw up Sue Storm CGI, and it's kind of hard to screw up Johnny Storm too. And Johnny Storm looked amazing when he flamed on, and
Beautiful.
when he used his powers to just eat up fire, and Thing looks exactly like Thing does in the comics for like the first time ever in live action. It was like, oh my god, the amount of TLC Matt Shackman put into this was like god tier. Yeah, but my complaints was the casting choices initially until I saw the actors actually do their thing as these characters, and then I would say, what is a complaint I can say? We currently don't have any like true connectivity right now between Earth 838 and Earth 616 at the moment. We had a post-credit scene with Thunderbolts that showed the Fantastic Four spaceship entering their Earth's atmosphere, and then we got the mid-credit scene with Fantastic Four First Steps, with Doctor Doom making an appearance to Franklin Richards. The thing is, that still doesn't confirm he's Earth 616 or not. And I'm pretty sure I've heard people mention that this Doctor Doom is Earth 838's Doom and not Earth 616's Doom. So, so there's a number difference.
Yeah, it's 828.
828 was this one. 838 was a Multiverse of Madness. It's like, damn, their numbering convention got a little lazy there. You couldn't just 699.
828 is a reference to Jack Kirby.
Oh, that's right, because of the birthday, August.
Yeah.
And so why? It's like, okay, so why 838 for Multiverse of Madness? I guess that's a Sam Raimi decision. Yeah, who knows? But so now that we have confirmed that Doom is not from 828, or did we confirm that he's not from 828? I don't know, but it's where I'm at right now after seeing the movie. I don't know where Doom is from, so we don't have any proof of there's a connection or anything leading into them going to Earth 616 yet. So that was my one hit. Wasn't enough to completely tank the score at all. Honestly, if anything tanked the score for Fantastic Four from being a 10 out of 10, I would say maybe John Krasinski not being Reed. Maybe this is tough. This is tough because it's a damn good movie and it's hard to complain about. it's so hard to complain about because without the MCU connectivity, uh, it's really just the first Fantastic Four movie we've seen in a long time, and it's like, all right, cool. I'll settle with it as long as we could get like at least two movies or a trilogy. I will die a happy man. Um, because Marvel Studios will probably be a lot better off with this franchise if Matt Shackman is directing all three of these movies. Uh, what else do I have for this? Franklin Richards, I was not expecting that. Like the announcement that Sue Storm was pregnant was what like caught me completely off guard because it's like, damn, they're speeding that timeline up. And it makes sense because it's like we need an established Doom. We have a fully established Mole Man and Subterranea in this universe, and a lot of like real life Rogues Gallery villains from the comics were in this movie too. So Matt Shackman might not be a Fantastic Four fan, but he made this movie the way a fan would make it because his due diligence was insane. Uh, that is so rare with Marvel movies. Oh, at least as far as this year's go. I was not pleased with Captain America 4, and that started a decline of my faith. And come to find out, well, actually, now that I remember, I was one of the biggest haters for Fantastic Four First Steps because Krasinski was not casted, and I had seen Captain America 4. I was like, oh, the Marvel haters kind of spoke it into existence that there was going to be this decline in Marvel quality. But honestly, I had no movie to complain about until Cap 4. That's just me, though. That's just me. Like, I loved Multiverse of Madness. I loved Shang-Chi. Everything after Endgame, I feel was not a failure until Cap 4. So I was like, if Fantastic Four blows it, this is going to be a bad year for Marvel. Because I wasn't that crazy for Deadpool and Wolverine. I loved the movie, but
I haven't rewatched it since theaters.
It's a movie that you can't really like rank it high as far as importance goes because it's just like a lot of things that happen in the movie don't necessarily pertain to what the MCU is going for now. So it's like the movie ultimately is not that important. Besides the fact that Deadpool can go from multiverse to multiverse now, or whatever.
I kind of feel how I do about. It's funny, Deadpool and Wolverine and No Way Home. I saw multiple times in theaters, but I have not yet rewatched them at home. I own them physically, but I have on 4K and stuff, but I haven't yet watched them at home. And it's because they're more about the moment and the cameos. And I know people say you like cameo porn and all this stuff. And in a way, it's kind of true, but it works for those two movies. But once you get once that shine wears off, the stories to them aren't very compelling that you want to come back to them. Whereas this has a compelling story. I know people say it's simple, but I think it's tightly written and dialed in, where I think it's a very compelling movie that I could rewatch on repeat. And like I said, it's under 2 hours, hour 55. Like it hits that shorter run time. And I just think it's efficient filmmaking in every sense of the word for me, I think.
Yeah, because it's like what the biggest like drawing point for me is just like, is the story compelling? Is there some substance that we can gain? Like I can walk out the theater like reassured about something or informed about something. Like even like most Marvel movies that I've seen up until this point, the objective is to just beat the bad guy. And it's just like, all right, cool, because the bad guy is about to do something horrible, so it makes perfect sense to beat him. But what else can we get from that? Because we've seen that in every other movie before this. So Like it like you said earlier, this is a fresh take on superhero movies that we've seen in a while. Breath of fresh air. Uh, Matt Shackman made sure that he got his point across with this movie. Sue Storm. One of the plots to this is Sue Storm is given a choice. Well, the whole team is given a choice to give up Franklin in order to save billions of people and stop Galactus from destroying Earth. It was like, yo, we're the Fantastic Four. We can come up with a better solution. And kind of her speech at the end moved me pretty well. And it made perfect sense that everybody's like, you know what, let's just have faith in them. And in the end, they ended up solving the problem anyway. So,
yeah. Like a cynic would say, oh, there's no way the world would come together like that and put all their, because they had all those, I forgot what it was called, the dimension things they had. All those countries wouldn't come together and work like that. But you forget we're in a different world here. We're not on our Earth. We're on a comic book world and a comic book movie. So it makes sense. And like Blake just said, the best packaged, tightest, cohesive superhero movies made to date. Completely agree. That's a perfect sum up, Blake, of what it is. And like, also, Blake, I'm sorry to you as well, because I gave you so much crap about the Thing CGI as well in the trailer. It wasn't just Deontay. I remember getting you about like, oh, that CGI looks like trash, man. And then they proved me wrong. They really did prove me wrong, because the Thing is amazing in this movie. It looks good.
It's so good.
I saw they cut like people were mad. I saw some people upset because they cut like the John Malkovich playing the Red Ape, was it?
Oh, that's who you casted to be.
The Red Ape, and then they cut out a little bit of Natasha Lyonne, the Thing's relationship with Natasha Lyonne's character.
I like that. Yeah, that was cool too.
Red Ghost, not Red Ape. I'm sorry, Red Ghost. I'm an idiot. I'm the ape, but no. Yeah, thank you, Blake. And I know you remember our talks. I gave you a lot of crap about it, and I'm here to apologize publicly for giving you crap about the Thing, and to Deontay as well. I'm sorry to both of you. I was proven wrong. The Thing looks amazing. All my worries were put to bed. But yeah, but Red Ghost, they were like, well, we should have got some more of that. I think that would have taken away from the movie. I think that was good they cut that. And I think we get just enough with the Thing and the girl at the church, the Jewish place or whatever. Natasha Lyonne's the actress.
Yeah.
We get just enough with that it works. I don't think there was more there, they said, but I think we get the gist with that. I think it's, like I said, it's efficient filmmaking. I think it's okay that they cut that.
Yeah, man. Johnny Storm ain't the only ladies man.
That's another thing I loved. People were, because Chris Evans in the Fantastic Four movies, he's basically just a playboy. That's all he is a playboy. And in the comics, he is that. He has that side to him. He is a ladies' man, but he also has intelligence too, and he can use his intelligence in other ways. And I love that about this movie, where you get the playboy side, because he's like obsessed with Silver Surfer. And I was like, that's literally me. That's so me. Like I would see that and be like, yeah, I'm in love with her. Like he immediately fell in love with her. That's a literally me moment. But
he shot his shot.
Like at the same time, he actually like put work in and tried to understand what she was saying in the language, while Reed was so locked in and focused off here to the side, and he was able to help the team in a way Reed couldn't. And it showed that he was just as useful. And that's one of the best things about this movie. I think it has great themes about like a family and a team. And that's what the Fantastic Four, it's called Marvel's First Family for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie should have been the themes about family, getting together, coming together to help each other, being a team, supporting each other. And all those themes are there, and they're rich, well-developed. All the characters work together. And I feel like they just nailed it. And they also nailed, there's other little things in there too about like becoming a father and the fear of that, like with Reed Richards.
He was on
like
one.
Being a husband and a dad and trying to juggle work with family, and like there's little things like that. Or like I love that scene where he's like, Vanessa Kirby looks at him and she's like, I know you've already looked at every possible outcome and you're thinking the best thing is to give up the baby. And then, like, you know, they have that argument.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, it is the best possible thing. Like, he is, because he's supposed to be the smartest man. He's like, yeah, it is the best possible thing, but I'm not going to do it. Like, because, you know, that's my son. Like, that was, like, great. Such good character writing there, where it shows that, yeah, he's logical and he thinks logical and he's the smartest man, but he's becoming a father and he loves his son at the same time. It's just like, just the writing, man. Just writing. It's not that. Come on, Marvel. Do more like this.
Man, Marvel pumps out more movies like this. It's over with for DC. I love my God.
Superman was great, but then when I saw Fantastic Four, I was like, well, DC shine just got taken away.
Yeah, it's like, damn,
I was like, you kind of just, the MCU just one ups you, and when did it come out? 2 weeks later, it's just like the MCU 2 weeks later, and like that sucks for DC because the MCU has been kind of weak for so low. It's kind of been like a weakened opponent, where like it could get that easy punch in there with Superman. If this was like any other year, Superman would be the superhero movie of the summer. But it's like the MCU got all of its strength back and just went Super Saiyan, and it was like, here's Fantastic Four, the first steps. Sorry, we're back.
Mm-hmm. He was like, we know you guys had your fair share of complaints about Fantastic Four movies in the past. Allow us to give you the best Fantastic Four movie of all time. Yeah. And they did.
I mean, that's just easily. I mean, I don't see anybody who could say this isn't the best Fantastic Four movie. I mean,
yeah. Oh, this is another one. Like, I need a sequel for this, please.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to. I can't wait to rewatch it. Like, I'm buying it day one. I'm gonna be owning this physically. I'm gonna be watching it at home, showing people. Like, this is one of those ones that I'll revisit in the MCU. And I think that's the thing too. It's not tied to anything else, and I think that's what it's a strength for this movie, because you can just watch it as a movie. You could literally show it to anybody. Like, people that don't know the MCU are up to date on the MCU, know all the inner workings and all the little, this ties to this, ties to this, ties to this. You could just show a basic person that just goes and enjoys movies and be like, hey, here's a cool superhero movie, and they'll enjoy it and really like it, I think. And they're not going to be confused. They're not going to be like, who's that? Who's that? Like, how does this tie in? Because it's such a simple, contained story that it's just more universal that way.
Yeah, like, this is so casual friendly. This is day one comic nerd friendly. Like, both sides win.
Yeah, literally got me, and it got me like somebody who's, I guess, kind of in the middle, because, you know, I followed the MCU forever, but I'm not a comic guy at the same time. And this got me where I'm like looking into the comics. Like, this is all my life I've been a Fantastic Four fan, but I never knew about Dr. Doom's backstory completely. Like, I knew little bits and pieces, but like I went in and like I was reading up, and I was just like trying to read, and like I was looking into comics. I was like, I might start reading some Fantastic. Like, it got me like into it, where I'm like, and I mean, if you guys know this, know me, know this show, I've said this earlier, people always hate on me, think I'm a comic book movie hater, like a Martin Scorsese type. But I'm not. Like, at the end of the day, if it's a great comic book movie, I will be split. My favorite movie is The Batman. Like, I have Batman Begins right here. Oh my God, I hate this mirrored thing. I have Batman Begins here. Like, I am a comic book fan, and like, when it's done right, it's done right. And this really reinvigorated my love for comic. This and Superman. I'll give Superman the credit too. This and Superman reinvigorated my love for comic book movies. And I know I said, I think it was Daredevil Born Again, our last podcast, actually.
Yeah.
I said, if Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, those are my last two chances for the MCU, or I'm out. And I declared that. I said I was going to be out and I was going to be done with the MCU. Thunderbolts, really good. We didn't get a chance to talk about it on here, so I'll just say it was really good. I gave it a B+. Like I said, some issues, needed better writing, but overall, really good movie. And then this one, it's like, okay, MCU, you pulled me all the way back in. You pulled me by my feet, and you dragged me all the way in. Like, yeah, I'm still in. Like, I'm not only in, I'm here for it. Like I'm back into it. Where like before I was like so out of it, and like Thunderbolts was like okay, maybe like we'll see how Fantastic Four is, and Fantastic Four just smacked me across the face and then come here, you little bitch, and like you're back here.
I was waiting on this movie to fail too. I got in that theater and I had my arms folded, attitude and everything. It was like, let your fucking guard down and shut up.
I swear, that's exactly how I went into this movie. I'm not even gonna lie. That's how I went into this movie too. I was looking for nitpicks. I was looking to judge. I was like, okay, what's you?
And yeah, I got humbled.
Yeah, they humbled me for sure. Like I said, I came out saying 5 out of 5 A+, second favorite movie of the year. Like Marvel basically still said, you know, Jacob, you're still our little bitch. And I am. And I'll take it.
That's fair. I'll be your bitch until the end of all of these phases.
Yeah, just don't spoil that goodwill, though. Come on, MCU. Just don't spoil the goodwill.
Yeah, man. It's not that difficult to put out a movie. Just you got source material to reference to. Then you just put your own take on what the plot is.
Yeah, like I'm so excited for see what happens. I told Kevin Feige and Matt. Yeah, I mean they did. They did. They said you're not going anywhere. They said Jacob, you're about to leave. You're coming. Just like I think it's Godfather Part 3. Just when I think I'm out of it, they pull me right back in. I'm like,
right back.
that's exactly what happened to me with this movie. It's just like, gosh dang it!
I had almost gotten away too.
Yeah, it just brought me back to the good old days of the MCU. Honestly,
Golly, what is the next movie that's supposed to be in Phase 6?
I have no clue. I know Avengers Doomsday is next year. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, Doomsday's coming.
That's all I know is Doomsday. That's the only Marvel project I know. Oh, Spider-Man Brand New Day is next year as well, 2026.
So let's see. So Doomsday's next. Secret Wars are the next 2 movies. Well, damn, man, time just flew by. Or is Spider-Man next and then Doomsday?
So Spider-Man's the next.
Spider-Man and then Doomsday. Okay, so damn, man.
Oh my god, they should slaughter me then. Like Spider-Man and then Doomsday. There's no reason why Marvel should not just completely just
slam dunk.
Just slam dunk it. Like if those are their next 2 movies, like you have me MC. Spider-Man, that's my favorite superhero besides Batman. Of course, I'm gonna be there. And then Doomsday, Doctor Doom, and Fantastic Four is going to be in that. So, of course, I'm there.
Right? Like, we haven't had one bad Tom Holland Spider-Man movie yet.
Yeah, like, I really liked all of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I can't say loved, but I really liked all of them, we'll say.
They were fantastic.
And now we got news since our last video. We were talking about in Born Again how it could be tied to Daredevil Born Again, and now the Punisher could be in Spider-Man. Punisher is now confirmed. Brand New Day. So excited. And you know what that means? I'm telling you, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 comes out a month or 2 before Brand New Day. I have a feeling Spider-Man might show up in Season 2 of Born Again. And I also have a feeling that Daredevil might show up in Brand New Day. I have a feeling, and I'm hoping that's true.
I was hoping that was going to be the first announcement because it's just like you don't see Spider-Man running around with Punisher nearly as often as he runs around with Daredevil. So it's like,
hey, when I saw that announcement, I'll take it. Punisher, John Bernthal is the Punisher back in Brand New Day. Like, come on. And then Tom Holland just recently came out with a statement as well. He said we're actually filming on real sets again, and he said we're not using just green screen and visual effects. He said I feel like we're filming a real movie. He literally said that. He kind of dissed the previous MCU movies by saying what he said. But he said, I feel like we're back on set with the real movie. You know, like he said, I feel like I'm actually filming in real places and doing real things. And it feels like a real singular story. And that excites me so much because that's what we need. More singular, real shot, less green screens, you know, get real buildings, real cinematography. Come on, give me that in my Spider-Man and like these.
And if the writing stays consistent as it has been for the other 3 movies, they're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah. Next show is tomorrow. Eyes of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Marvel Zombies. I really have interest in a lot of those. We'll see. I'll probably watch them, but MCU shows I'm a little in.
I'm not hip to Marvel Zombies, but Eyes of Wakanda, I'm all about the Wakanda lore. It's basically the world that Black Panther operates in. He's like the king of this sovereign nation. And
well, I know Wakanda. I know all that.
So the eyes, the eyes are like his spies. They travel around the world, and I think they're jumping from 4 episodes, different timelines, and different kings, and so it'll be like different spy missions.
Real animated?
Yeah,
that could actually be really well done. That could be really good. I don't know anything about Wonder Man, so
Wonder Man looks good from the trailer, and I need to do more research on Marvel Zombies. So
Daredevil season 2 is what I'm waiting for when it comes to TV shows. Obviously.
Yeah. Daredevil season 2, Vision Quest, X-Men 97 season 2, and a live action X-Men coming from Mr. Jake Schreier himself. Oh, and Ironheart was good too. That was a decent.
I haven't seen Ironheart. I have no interest, so sorry guys.
Yeah, it's a horrible marketing strategy that went into this. I think that not a lot of people should be more turned on about this show, but unless you see it for yourself, you're not going to know the appeal.
Yeah, I saw Mephisto was in it at the end or something.
Fantastic performance from Sacha Baron Cohen.
That's got to tie somewhere into Doomsday, though. If they're going by the comics, since Mephisto technically killed Doctor Doom's mom in the comics, so I wonder how they'll do that. That'll be interesting to see how they play the Doctor Doom Mephisto stuff, or if they even touch on that.
Yeah, because it's interesting to see where they'll put Mephisto, because they have the TV shows that's supposed to be leading up to Midnight Suns, and then you have the movies that's leading up to team up with X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, all versus one guy. So it's an interesting future coming.
Do you have? I'm trying to think of anything else on First Steps.
Anything else for First Steps?
I don't want to miss anything. I'm trying to think. I mean, I kind of said all my piece. I kind of squirted all over this movie with my with my happy juices.
The happy juices, man! I love this movie.
Yeah, I just like visual cinematography, man. Just the visual. I literally, like I said, I looked at my friend and I was like, I can't believe I'm watching a Marvel movie right now. Like the visuals were that good, and that's sad that Marvel has lowered my expectations that much. Where I see great visuals and I'm shocked, but man, I was just like, oh my god, this is beautiful to look at. I was just like, my eyes were just loving it. I was just, the world is so fully realized. It doesn't feel fake at all. It feels like you're there. I just wild. Did
you see it at Marcus Theaters?
Yeah.
So you also didn't get to see it in IMAX. So people that said they saw it in IMAX lost their shit.
Bro, IMAX, I probably would have had a heart attack.
It was like, but you can see my nipples through my shirt. It's that good of a movie.
You could have seen my nipples. You probably could have seen something coming out of my pants. You probably could have seen so many. I can't imagine Galactus on an IMAX screen. Think about Galactus on what
that would have been. Whoa!
You gotta live in a rural ass place where there's no IMAX. It's like, dang man, give us one.
I will spend the last $20 in my name on a road trip to St. Louis just to see this shit in IMAX.
I swear. Oh, that's the comment that you hit out on? I don't know. I've said a lot worse. JFT is known for saying a lot of worse things.
Meow.
Yeah, I'm not Kitty Lee. Shout out Kitty Lee on TikTok, by the way. I hope you're watching this, Kitty Lee. I love your TikToks. I blow up Deontay's phone with them all the time, but I love your TikToks, Kitty Lee. Shout out Mr. Meow Guy.
Yeah, Kitty Lee, you're in the comment section. This is your night. You go viral with us.
Also, love you, Chit. Do it, lady.
Do it, lady. Meow.
Back to it then. Yeah. Success. So good, dude.
I really can't think of anything else for Fantastic Four. It's so good. It's just like you can praise it all night long.
Yeah, we probably look like a couple. You know what's funny is like, you know, for like the first 17 episodes of this podcast, everybody's been like, Jacob, you hate comic book movies and all this. If somebody were to watch this as their first episode, they'd be like, oh, this guy thinks every comic book movie is a masterpiece. He's a freaking nerd. Like, yeah, like it's going to be such a whiplash if they go back because they're going to be like, wait a minute, this guy likes indie film actually more, and he's talking about A24 and like what? I'm a man of many talents. Okay, you can love both. You can love both. You can be love them all.
Being a cinephile is
yeah. I love great movies. It doesn't matter what. You can be the nerdiest thing ever. You can be indie. I don't care. Just give me a great movie. That's all I care about. Studio, it don't matter. Just give me a great movie and I'm going to love it, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. Life is too short to be too goddamn picky all the time.
Yeah, I'm not one of those pretentious cinephiles. I may come off as one sometimes, but I'm not. Like, I love my dumb fun movies too. I love my comic book movies. I love my turn your brain off movies. Like, I love dumb comedies. Like, you know, I'm not over here like Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time, and Marvel is not real cinema. It is just popcorn and candy or some weird stuff. Like, I'm not like that at all. I love it. I'm wearing a Fantastic Four shirt. Like, come on. I got Batman behind me.
Batman behind him.
Come on. Like, I obviously like comic book movies. It's just Marvel has really been rough lately. But like I said, they brought me back. I do want to see The Naked Gun, Blake. Hopefully. I don't know if I'll be able to see it in theaters. I don't know. Life's been crazy. Life's been busy. I haven't seen near as many movies as I wanted to see in theaters this year. I've had to catch so much at home streaming. It's been sad. But I'm sorry, people, that I've let you down. I'm sorry I haven't been to the theaters as much. But, like, man. But, yeah, I'd love to see The Naked Gun. I love Liam Neeson. I love dumb comedies, so like Naked Gun. I just recently watched the original Naked Gun for the first time like a month ago. But like my dad loves those movies. So like, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to watch the new Naked Gun. I've heard great things, so excited for that for sure, yeah. Yeah, it's just life gets it's just like, you know, when you're young, you grow up, life gets in the way and it can't be movies every weekend, you know. Life just isn't like sadly, but you know, some people who do this as a job, I mean, if that's your job, that's amazing that you get to do that.
Lucky somebody, like,
yeah, lucky, literally, because I'm like, dang, you're getting to watch all these new releases early at press screenings, and like, you get to see every new movie in IMAX, and like, you don't know how lucky you have it. We're over here in rural Missouri. I get to go to the theater maybe once a month sometimes, and like, it's not even IMAX; it's just regular theaters. You know, it's just like, but that's life, you know. You just gotta roll with the punches. Exactly. Yeah, I want to see Together so bad. That's a new Neon horror.
Yeah.
So bad, but like I may miss that in theaters too. But we'll see. I hope to catch it on screen.
There was one A24 movie that's supposed to be coming out pretty soon too. They're still showing the ads for it in the previews for all the movies that's out right now, and I just can't remember. It's an A24 movie that should be coming out sometime this year.
Hmm.
So Fandango will tell me.
Trying to think.
But I don't really have a whole lot of more movies to look forward to this year. I think like after Fantastic Four, this might be it for me.
I'm trying to think. I got a few probably. I know there's a few I'm forgetting. I'm not. I don't have IMDb, but like, yeah, the Smashing Man. That's what you're talking about, probably the A24 with the Rock, the Safdie brothers directing it. That's probably what you're talking about, Deontay. Emily Blunt.
That's the A24 movie.
Yeah, Emily Blunt, the Rock, about the UFC fighter Mark Kerr.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, about Dwayne Johnson. I'm past.
I'm hyped for that movie. It looks like The Rock is actually trying to make a real movie this time. So like I'm hyped.
Let's see. I think my top movies for this year that I still haven't seen 28 years later. Still want to see that. I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. I'm watching that at home.
Yeah.
And I might see How to Train Your Dragon live action at home as well.
I just watched 28 Years Later 2 nights ago. I rented it at home.
How was that?
It's really good. The writing disappointed me, I will say. The writing, I love Alex Garland. He's amazing, but like for some reason the writing on this one just wasn't up to par. 28 Days Later is still the best one in the franchise, but I mean that one's hard to beat anyway. That's one of my, if not my favorite zombie movie. So like, yeah, but like 28 Years Later, it's really good, but it's not great. I think I gave it a B plus. So it's really good. 3.5 out of 5. It's worth watching for sure, but the writing is a little to be desired.
Yeah, it'll probably be like maybe top 10 for 2025, not top 5.
Weapons, yeah, Weapons. I want to see so bad. I hope I get to see Weapons in theaters. That's a Barbarian director's newest movie. Mm-hmm. Julia Garner's in that too. Josh Brolin's going to be in it, so we got Thanos and Silver Surfer in it. But yeah, it's supposed to be. The marketing has been phenomenal for that movie, and it looks terrifying. So I hope to see Weapons. That's definitely my most anticipated. Weapons for sure.
Yeah, Weapons will probably be the last movie I pay for this year.
I'm gonna see Weapons. I'll see The Smashing Man for sure. Love A24 biopic dramas. Together, I want to see Oh Hi. I want to see Naked Gun. I mean, there's tons I want to see still, but yeah.
I feel like I should see The Naked Gun in theaters, but I feel like it might be just as good at home. But I'll see. If I have the funds for it, I'll go.
Yeah, if you got the funds for it, but it's a comedy, so it's like,
right.
It doesn't have to. I mean, sometimes it's fun to watch comedies because you get to laugh with other people in theaters, but like I don't know. It just depends. Really, if you like I said earlier, if you have the time, that's the thing. Oh, Predator Badlands. Boyd just said yes. Predator. I am there. Day one, my ass is in the seat. Let me tell you, Predator has always been one of my favorite franchises. I will be there for Predator Badlands. Oh, Edgar Wright's The Running Man. He's right. I'm excited about that. I love the Arnold Schwarzenegger version, and Edgar Wright's a great director, so we'll see about that one.
So, yeah, 2025 doesn't look like it has like a banger second half. Like, out of the list I'm seeing so far, I'm probably paying to see Weapons and Predator. But
it looks banger to me so far, but that's just my weird self. But
2024 went harder for sure.
Honestly, I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Doom Part 2, yeah. DD, Doom Part 2. Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll see about at the end of the year, but 2024 will be hard to beat. 2023 is hard to beat too, for real. We've had a couple great years in movies. Oppenheimer was 2023, like Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon.
That was some of my top.
Guardians Volume 3 was 2023. So Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they had Deadpool and Wolverine in 2023, I think, as well.
2024, I think. Yeah,
2024.
That was last summer. Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn, man, time.
I'm telling you, time gets away from us. We're getting old.
We are getting old.
And with that being said, A24, it's time.
Time for the plug.
It's time to hire me. Okay, I'm 26 years old. I will be 27 in September. I know I don't look it. I look like I'm a 17-year-old young baby boy. But guess what? I'm a grown man with chest hair. And you should really hire me because, life is short. I could die, something could happen. And then you would never know the potential of what you could have had with a director like me. Or even I'll even be the cinematographer. I don't even got to be the director. Let me be the cinematographer. Let me write something. Hey, let me act. Cast me with Jenna Ortega. Game over. You know what I mean?
Just or hire as a professional tickler. He'll just come up to your feet with a feather and
I will do that too. I would do anything for you. I will be the PA. I will be a production assistant. I will be the coffee boy. I will run errands. I will do anything. A24. This is not me just begging. This is me pleading. All right. And just know life is short and you should hire me. And this got really morbid because I'm talking about dying, but I don't plan on going anywhere, but I'm just saying, you never know. So you gotta take your chance when you see it. And A24, I'm the chance and I'm here to take,
Don't wait till Jacob gets stabbed by a Tinder date. Hire him now.
I feel like that's more of Nick's wheelhouse. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Nick. I'm so sorry. Sorry to bring up those PTSD flashbacks, buddy. But oh god, I miss Nick. But A24 is hiring in LA for a retail sales and marketing man. I'd love to go to LA. That'd be amazing. Just
hell yeah.
Life, you gotta get some life things figured out before I could do stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully I'd love to be able to do that. In the UK, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Finance is it.
They love me in the UK. I sound like this. But they're like, what is this redneck piece of shit in my proper country? But I don't know. I know they don't talk like that in England. I'm sorry, England, if you're watching or somebody. I don't mean to offend you.
Trade that baseball cap for a cowboy hat, then they'll really fall for it.
Yeah. But yeah, A24, hire me. I'm here. I'm available. Yeah, that's the end of the plug. I'm sorry that got a little morbid, A24. I'm not trying to threaten you, but maybe I am at the same time. But we will. Hopefully, we can work out something. I'll be anything. I'll be a background actor. I mean, I'd prefer to be the director, cinematographer. That'd be great. But we'll see. You call me, and we'll make it work. I'll figure out my plans. I'm a busy guy. I love how I just flipped that around and just made me the item there. But yeah.
Is JFP?
Is JFP? You could have JFP tied to you, A24. JFP. Do you realize this brand has 166 followers on Instagram, 163 followers on Facebook, and 180 on TikTok? I'm not good at math, but that's like 500 followers. That's something. I got like 13 subscribers on YouTube because I just post shorts on there every now and then, but I don't really do anything on YouTube. But you know what? That's 513 people, and they could all be yours. I would bring them with me. They would follow me. A24. That's 513 movie tickets, man. Just think about that.
Cool. The numbers add up fast.
Hire me, A24. But yeah, I mean, that's all I had for Fantastic Four first steps. I don't know, and the rest of the year. As far as JFP, like I said, me and Deontay are both busy guys right now. We're trying to live life. We're trying to survive in this day and times that we are in.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Diego. Diego said he will follow me anywhere, or we will follow you anywhere. So he's speaking for all of you here. I appreciate that. And Blake,
shout out to Diego.
And A24 JFP production has a nice ring. Exactly. That would be so weird to see Jacob's Film. Imagine paying for a movie ticket in a theater and you see Jacob's Film and you see my little logo.
The official A24 podcast.
Oh, make me, do that. Just make me your podcast. I'll talk about all your movies, A24, and I'll give them all 5 out of 5s. I'm not above being paid under the table, okay? I'm not above selling my soul to you, okay? I will give you 5 out of 5s on everything. I will praise you on the podcast. But yeah, as far as JFP in general, I just want to say, everybody that watching live, wants to watch this live, thank you for being here. I can't believe it's episode 18. I was thinking about this a little earlier. We're 18 episodes in, Deontay. Thank you to you, Deontay, by the way. You've been here from the day one. You're the reason this whole thing started. We got connected. The SNN Network is my daddy. I love you, SNN Network in general. I'm talking to it like it's a being and not a page, but SNN, you're my daddy. I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long. Your son's back home.
We appreciate you, Jacob.
Catch more SNN on like Twitch. You guys still doing Twitch doing stuff?
Oh yeah,
I've been so busy. I haven't been able to keep up with things, so I'm so sorry, SNN.
Yeah, Will's been on the gaming side, and then I just whatever is going on podcast worldwide will go through Twitch on here, StreamYard.
Yeah, I mean, so like we're still alive and kicking, guys. We're not dead. We're still alive. We've just been away a little bit, I had and I'll just be upfront with you here. I've recently gotten some developments recently with my health that aren't too great. I'll just say that I'll just say it up front. I won't get too personal or anything. I had surgery back in May. I'm healing. I'm recovering. I don't know. I've got some more treatment I have to go through here coming up. But I'm just trying to live life, guys. And I appreciate everybody watching. I really do. I appreciate everybody that has watched any episode, liked any episode, shared any episode. Appreciate all my guests that have been on. Bella, Mac, Lawson, Nick. Shout out Nick. I miss Nick. Miss that man. He's still in our chat, but he just watches our chat like a little pervert, but he never says anything. But it's more of Deontay's my day one. He's been here since day one. I won't do a podcast unless I have him on here usually. It's a rare occasion. He's always here with me. It's like couldn't do it without you, man. And just this sounds like a go away or a goodbye. I'm not dying or anything. I swear I'm not dying or anything, guys. Don't freak out.
Oh man.
I'm just saying I'm just very thankful. I was just thinking about this earlier. I'm very thankful to everybody that's ever watched any episode, even if you watch 5 minutes. Just giving it a like, giving it a comment, because I really love movies. I love talking about movies. Like I said, these last few months have been really hard mentally and physically for me. Movies are my escape. This really helps me put my talents or what I think I have talents to use. This might be dog shit, but like I put my talents to use in some way. I have a film degree. I'd like to use that at some point. And this just lets me get some filmmaker side of me out. It's an outlet for that. Without this, I would be a much bigger mess than I already am. And I just thank all of y'all for real. Every single one of you that's ever just watched, subscribed, everybody that's in the SNN network, everybody that subscribes to them. If you subscribe to them, you're subscribing to me at the same time. We're one and the same. So go support their page, everything they do. Follow the Facebook group. Like I said, we're always active in there. It may not be me or Deontay because we got stuff going on and things, but like somebody's always posting stuff about a new movie or a new comic book or new game or something. So like, just hang in there with us. JFP is going to be back. Hopefully episode 19 will be something bangery. That's not even a word, bangery. What is that?
It's a word now.
But it's going to be a banger. I don't know what's going to be on. Maybe it'll be weapons if we both like it and want to talk about it.
I'll be back for weapons for sure.
Me and Deontay will talk about it. We'll get there. Maybe Bella might be back. She might be back for the next one since it's a horror movie. You know, she's the horror aficionado here. Maybe we can even get Nick back, you know? But like,
come on.
That would be like a holy grail because I swear this man is like a hidden gem that goes missing every week. He sends, I promise you guys, he sends us a message and I talk about him like he's a mythical figure, but he really is like a mythical figure. Like, you don't understand. Me and Deontay know this, but like, he will send a message in our group chat, update us on his life, and then he will disappear for months. And then, and then
gone.
And then he'll just randomly come back one random day and say some random things, and you're like, "Huh?" Or he'll tag you on Facebook, in the most random post, and you're just like, "Where have you been?" I've been worried about you, man. So yeah, Nick, I know Nick is not watching this because he's probably somewhere in a different universe, but like, Nick, we need you back on. Bella, miss you. Bella actually has a show tonight. Shout out to her. She is actually, because she does theater, she's actually in a show 54 Below in New York City. It's a theater company she's working for. She has some kind of play going on right now, or musical or play. I mix them up. I'm sorry, I'm not a theater person. But yeah, she has that going on right now. So she would have joined us tonight, but she was busy doing that. So yeah, go watch that show if you can. I don't know if you're around the New York area, go to 54 Below. And yeah, shout out to everybody that's ever supported this page. I love y'all. I don't really have any more to say. You got anything, Deontay?
Last thing I will say is Craven Conventions has a new episode by our friend Bella. So go check that out on Spotify. I'm sure she has a link on her Instagram account under Craven's Conventions. You can just find us on IG and you'll probably find her page too. So go check out her new episode. Big shout out to Bella. We miss you. Can't wait to have you back on here talking horror movies with us again. And big shout out for Jacob for keeping this podcast going, because we love your critique and we want to see you level up and become a cosmic being of the cinema world.
I'll be the Silver Surfer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out, I'm forgetting, shout out Blake. He's always a great supporter at Fundamentals. Shout out Fundamentals in general, not just Blake, but Blake in general, but Fundamentals, his page. But yeah, Fundamentals, shout out them. They're always putting out content. Like, they've already got probably 10 videos on Superman right now. So like, go subscribe to them, go give them a like, go give them a follow. He's been working on his editing. He's been letting me know, and he's been getting really good at it. Adobe Premiere Pro is a beast.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine. So go give all that support. He deserves every subscriber and like, just for using that god-awful software that is so hard to use. So yeah, go subscribe to them, give them a like, follow them on everything. Fundamentals,
everything you need as far as nerd news.
Yeah, everything. It's always there. They'll keep you up to date. Literally, you can follow them, and you don't got to follow all these big pages. Just follow them, and you'll get everything you want to know about the comic book stuff coming out, the nerdy stuff, the movies. You'll get what you want. So, like, yeah, go follow and subscribe to them for sure.
Yes, Lord.
And I mean, that's all I got. Episode 19. Pending. We're not done. We're not dying. This isn't the last episode. We will be back. I don't know when. I can't give you guys that. I wish I could. Like I said, I'm sorry. Life is very unpredictable right now for me. And a lot of it's hard to get hosts, and it's hard to go see movies in theaters and then try to coordinate because everybody's schedule is so busy right now. It's just like, we're all trying to get through life. So I really appreciate all the support, though. I really do.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate everybody that showed up tonight, man. We love y'all. This concludes episode 18. Well, without further ado, you're welcome for the shout out. And everybody, y'all have an awesome Thursday night.
Yeah. Live it up.